I'm so fucking happy.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking happy.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking I'm so fucking happy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Don't say nice things anyway. Nothing ever gets better if we all act like nothing's wrong. I can see through to the real you, imperfect. There's a screw loose, something broken. What a breakthrough. You can't seek help, I can't fix you. You can't hide the entire world, so stop acting like such a bottom feeder. It's a face we're all paid to wear. Your cheer only makes their venom sweeter. But it's a bonfire, it's a war front, it's a purge night, it's a witch hunt.
Hi, am I on the air?
It's a car crash,
Yep.
it's a fail stunt,
Fuck.
it's a cult. Everything is fine.
Thanks.
Everything is fine. 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 This is my therapy. I can afford any expertise, so I'm stuck over processing every goddamn thing. I gotta take that time to catastrophize and break apart and analyze every tiny thing that comes to mind. I'm going off with a fucking time. Passing interaction leads me to a biochemical reaction. Wanna be a better person, I try to be, but I get held up by anxiety. Don't wanna convince myself they hate me, but then I cope by getting angry every time I fail to contain the edge. Fuck, it's time to hit the switch. Trying to get better and up in the range, bubbling over like every day. Do not believe what the people who try to be happy, no matter what troubles they face. Put in a face like everything's great. I can erase that I really hate the way they try to say that I should live my life and naivete. Feeling the pain of all mistakes, you every time I fight my feet. I'm purplely stuck on a cycle of panic, medical analysis all the time. Slow down and breathe, calm down my mind. I to myself and think everything is fine. 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 Everything is
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh no, it just happened again. I just mean what I said, and I don't need more fake friends. Oh no, we're trapped playing pretend. Slap a smile on and I'll swear it's not for my defense. Oh no, I heard white lies were tame. My thoughts getting dark, but I can't say the same. Oh no, the mask is cracking. I'll feed you a line, just please don't come around and say everything is fine. 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 Everything is fine.
Brother.
Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Everything's gonna be all right. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
That was Q
this is
Bomb.
George.
Oh, hi George. That was
It's fine.
that was Q Bomb, my buddy's band. That was a song called "Everything Is Fine." You can check them out. Our buddy Gene, animator, he's been on our podcast a couple times.
Oh yeah.
That's his band. So check out the.
Hey guys.
That's not my applause. Check out the tracks over at Q Bomb. You can find them on Spotify, YouTube, the whole lot. They got a new
That's
music
right.
video for that track.
Oh,
It's
nice.
very, very nice. High production value. Good stuff.
Good for them.
And I've got some EGOT. That's right. Emmy, Tony, Oscar, and a Blockbuster Movie Award. All 4. I hold the EGOT in my grasp.
Oh.
You give that, you know what they call that when everyone when
Yeah.
you win them all. I don't have them all. I'm missing a few, but I would give definitely a Game of the Year award. I think Jeff Keighley did to Death Stranding.
Oh, yeah.
So fucking
That's because
happy.
he's in it.
Sean loves this game. Yeah, it is. It's a little biased if he's in the game, right? So the basic premise too for today's show, thus the title, spoiler-filled Stranding.
Full of them.
We're gonna go into it. Bryan has beat it. I finally just beat it. We talked about it on the podcast. Since I announced that, a lot of people want another spoiler cast a la
Yeah.
our Ava, like 4-hour, Evangelion explanation streams. I don't know if that's quite what I'm up for in anymore.
Well, yeah, when we basically watched the fucking thing
Well, and like,
live.
and I don't know if that's the kind of stuff I want to make where it's like, all right, I'm just going to explain the plot of a fucking movie
Yeah.
from start to finish.
No, I want to have a discussion about it.
Yeah. So that's what today's show's all about. Because
Yeah.
people ask for that, and that's what we're gonna do here. And Rocco's going to Discord in, so he will be joining us.
That's
you
right.
can Discord in as well. I'm sure Bryan's already dropping that link.
That's right.
The gameplay after you've beat it, it sets the time back 2 weeks. It says
Yeah.
2 weeks earlier. So that kind of gives you this window of like, okay, I'm still playing in the world of Death Stranding, but the stuff that I got at the ending cutscenes doesn't really apply. And
Yep.
like the stream is called, and we're not holding back now. So if you have not beat the game, this is your fucking last chance. Rip that escape parachute cord. Pull your exit now, because I'm going to fucking drop every plot point, detailed cutscene information, and ending to this game in a sec here.
Yeah.
And just like the chiral network going down, we are dropping frames now too, Bryan. I don't know what...
Internet's been weird.
Internet has been weird in this, and the Death Stranding kind of ties into the pandemic that we're all living in, getting things delivered. There is a thing about this game that I personally enjoy, and that is that the protagonist for the first time is a blue-collar worker.
Yeah.
And that's something I don't think I realized or ever even talked about, but I feel like I identify with the character in a big way because
yeah.
of that. Because I hear people say that during this crisis and this shelter in place and everything,
Yeah.
my job's been considered essential, my part-time job, the construction job.
Yeah.
And they treat us really well. Like, they just bought us lunch today. And they say shit like, this is to show our appreciation for you guys really putting it on the line and going out here and it's the shit that all the porters and everyone says to Sam.
Yeah.
And it's like, in the game, I'm like, why are these guys thanking Sam so much? He's just the FedEx guy. But it's like, well, everyone's thanking and treating their FedEx guy so good right now because he's this lifeline
Yeah.
to their whole fucking... It dawned on me.
Yeah. In the absence of being able to go out ourselves and just how people are now. I mean, look at how fearful and nervous they are. They are going to rely on the people who are willing to do it. Basically, the main message is that. So yeah, it's an internet issue. It's not even our fucking problem.
Oh yeah, but that's not good if we're... It doesn't say we're dropping frames. In the one, can I get a
Well, I
one
mean,
in the
it
chat?
might have disconnected it earlier.
It might have disconnected the
Yeah,
PlayStation.
while we were like that. So at
Just
least
give
you know
me a
it's from there.
one in that chat if everything's coming in good.
But yeah, I mean that's definitely part of like Death Stranding is such a experiential game. It's not about what you're doing in the game. It's about the setting and what you actually do through it. You're right. It's one of the only games that isn't like Terraria or whatever, like a game that's built around building a farm where you're a blue collar worker. We're getting ones, so we're looking.
We're
good.
getting once. It took a little. There's a lag on that though. I was getting worried.
Yeah.
Yeah. This game got panned by people who didn't stick with it. I think as being a walking simulator or the UPS man simulator. And yes, in some ways that is the mission. That is the objective. That is the core gameplay. Is delivering a package from point A to point B.
That's
much
wonderful.
like in a fetch quest type RPG. You got to go get this key, but you got to go talk to this old man who has the recipe for soup that the old lady wants.
Yep.
So then when you talk to him, he's like, yeah, but the bone broth for my soup is in this town over. And that's what fucking video games are.
It's exactly that. And
It's
like
just going from point. It's all point A to point B. So you do it in an interesting way that mixes in story.
yeah.
And this game does it, I think, really well to where it doesn't just feel like I'm just taking packages around.
No, exactly, and that's the point. It took the essence of what those games are, which is that stripped down version of, okay, you're just delivering the packages back and forth. It's the catalyst to get you there. It's the reason. It's the through line. It's the hook. It's why we're there. Okay.
It's the meat and potatoes.
Yeah, and we get that, and that's okay. Fine, we get it. Sure. And then it doesn't like treat you like an idiot about it. You're a delivery man, just like in every game. Also, this game is very similar, if you think about it, to like Animal Crossing in terms of like building structures and sharing things online in the online community, and what you build helps, persist there. And all you're doing is delivering things from your villagers or islanders to the other villager or islander, and crafting and building all these structures so that your villagers and towns have shit to do. It's a communal game. The idea behind this is that you can play it by yourself, but you're also playing with everybody else online. And that's the whole point of being in the game, too. It's that you're connected even though you aren't physically there. And that at this point in our lives, there's almost no difference. I mean, fuck.
Right.
12 years of, or 8 years of doing the PPS, right?
Right.
People have been tuning in for that long. Those are fucking Mega Sixtifarians.
They are the Mega Sixtifarians. Shouts out.
We're all friends with them because they come to the PPS every
we're
Wednesday.
connecting. We're building strands.
Mm-hmm.
I love that in the final end game, you unlock all the like final versions of the weapons you can build.
Yeah.
The Higgs custom.
Yeah.
Have you fucked with them?
The
Like
Higgs custom.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I have. Wait.
They have like underbarrel. I was just looking at.
Yeah.
I was just looking at them on
I
the
fucked
table.
around
there.
with underbarrels.
Dude, that was making me want to go back in and experience combat in a new way, because it's like, oh, I loved in Phantom Pain having the underbarrel attachment to my machine gun.
Oh, yeah.
And the fact that I like switching the ammo types so I can just load out with like one gun, run around, get crazy. Finally opened up the colors so you could change the colors of your suit. So I went with like a military OD green kind of thing.
So you and I are literally at the exact same point now. So you beat the game, 5-starred every single porter or every single delivery, and it says
35.
You're 2 weeks out from delivery of 2 weeks out of Strand's inauguration. I don't think at this point you can actually go back and do the ending through where you're at.
No. This is just like New Game Plus, basically.
Yeah, basically.
It's like a 2-week period that's going to last forever. Yeah.
Now the thing about that.
all of these. See all those trucks?
Yeah, those are all you?
Well, yeah, because I had to craft everything to get an achievement, I started just crafting everything, and I have literally one more. The ride motorcycle is a memory chip I haven't found.
You haven't found that?
No, and if I find it and craft that motorcycle, I'll get that, platinum trophy.
Dude,
or not platinum trophy, whatever trophy.
You'll just get the trophy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that. Have you found them sitting around?
I've found, actually, since I endgamed it, I did find one more memory chip that I never found in a cave.
Well, you probably have more memory chips than I do, but I'm talking about, have you ever found the ride motorcycle just in the wild?
No.
Oh, when you ride it, it's fun.
Does it look different?
Yeah, it's different, and he comments on it.
Oh, very interesting.
Yeah, I don't want to give it too much away.
Yeah,
'Cause I know, but yeah. So
well, I think
it's
during
cool.
this stream,
let's try to find it.
We can look up if you don't mind. Look up
Fuck
where
you.
it is, because here's what I'm looking at.
Okay.
All I have left to do really is memory chip 31 is right there, and that's the one I don't have. So I have quite a bit left to find to get all the trophies. I don't know if I'll do that. Maybe one day. I said I would never do that in Phantom Pain, and I did.
Yeah.
But what were you gonna say?
So we're trying to find the ride
31.
motorcycle. Okay.
Yeah, memory chip 31.
Okay,
And just
cool. Thank you. Actually, that helps.
Hold on to that for me. I just wanted to get into the way this game started. Like when I first started playing, I was so scared of the BTs, and
Me too.
walking around and in playing super cautiously and then getting accustomed. And the game was really good at giving you equipment and giving you it doles out the gear slowly but surely. Let's take this back to the Ludens fan for him. Let's go visit our friend Jeff Keighley. Oh yeah, here's that underbarrel with the Higgs. So you
Yeah.
could switch it just like triangle.
Yeah.
Boom, and then you got that's switching ammo. Sorry, D like that. Then you got a
Yeah.
grenade launcher.
Yeah, I did. So I had done almost, because I thought I had 5-starred everything before I did the end of the
Yeah.
game, but there was one sliver in like the North Mountain Knot station
Okay.
that I hadn't like fucking fulfilled or some shit. Whatever, I did it afterwards. I
Sure.
got the achievement, and then I also just got the achievement for reading all of the interviews. So I know I got all the interviews today.
Oh, okay.
Because I popped back in just to refamiliarize, see if there was, see if there was anything else I could wring out of the game. And like, yeah, the memory chips are the only thing I haven't done.
That's basically for me too. Yeah, it'd be like memory chips and when I get to craft that ride motorcycle.
Yeah.
So what I was getting, or what I wanted to get at was like, so when I started playing, I was so cautious, so scared of the BTs, that I never, ever died and repatriated and caused a void out. I played the game, and when I would have to repatriate because of the story, I would do that, and I'd
Yeah.
get that cutscene floating around in the scene.
Yeah.
But I played so carefully, and this is like not a fucking humble brag or anything. I didn't even know you could do if you die, it causes a void out.
Yeah, I've never
and there's a
died.
huge crater.
I've never done that.
Never happened to me on my whole playthrough.
I didn't
so
know that either.
someone told me like, "Hey,
Wow.
have you seen the void out crater?" I was like, "What?" So I did that for the first time after I beat the game, and I went right outside of the first city, and I just let the BTs get me and totally like lose against the boss BT, because
Yeah.
I would let them get me sometimes so that the dolphin or whatever the sub boss would show up, and I could get chiral. I would farm chiral crystals from
Yeah.
him. I would let him drag me under, and then I would fight the boss and get that crystal. But this time I just let the boss kill me, and yeah, you void out, and it creates a huge fucking crater to where when you repatriate, you have to walk around that area.
Yeah, you can't walk through a.
And
a
I
void
don't
out.
know. I don't know if it's there on the map forever. I think maybe.
I think it is. Yeah.
That's fucking cool.
It might eventually through Timefall like fix it.
Yeah, because it kind of creates a dome where you can't go in there. You have to go around it.
Yeah.
Oh, here's some BBs.
Yeah. So I was the same thing. And honestly, once you were able to cut umbral cords,
That's where I got.
it was like,
confident.
okay, now
Yeah.
it was like, oh, you gave me CQC in this game even
Yep.
more so? Okay. And I love that this game allowed you to play with all the guns and not have any difference between that and lethal weapons, which was really nice too, because I was able to like really enjoy.
Where's the BB? There's the BB. No, he's going up.
Yeah,
You were really
he's good.
enjoying
I was able
what?
to enjoy all the fucking gunplay, and the gunplay
Yeah.
in this game is so good. It's so crisp. Like, normally I like to do stealth, but because this game made the gunplay so much fun and changing my loadout, I would run into camps and take
Yeah.
people out, and like really, it was a fun action.
I'm gonna get
game.
into a dolphin fight.
Yeah, get into a situation. Here.
I loved like running out and shooting these guys with a grenade launcher too. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Here,
Or
I'll-
I like peeing on them.
Yeah, yeah. That's
It makes
true,
them
too.
go away.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed how much ability they gave you to play the game exactly how you wanted, and how they didn't penalize you for anything but killing. And I love that.
And
I
you
love
like
that.
I never killed anyone
I never wanted to
because
you
that
didn't
would
have to.
cause a void out too, right? I'm gonna
Or-
let these guys get
Well,
me.
so what it would do is it wouldn't necessarily cause a void out. It would cause it would create a BT zone. So if you killed somebody there and they went to necrosis, it would create a BT zone.
It would just bring them in.
And then yeah, so now it would create like an area like this.
Look at how they're not like getting me.
Yeah, I think you happened to
Oh,
just
I
be
was
in a-
too far out.
You were in like a
The
sweet
edge
spot.
Yeah. Okay, I let him get me.
Um,
Here we go, boss fight.
but yeah, like see that's the thing. This game gave you the perception that a lot of things were gonna happen that wouldn't happen. Kind of like Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice.
Oh, I
There's
did not
a-
play that.
Dude, that is one of my favorite games of this generation, and is the only reason I would consider getting a PC or Xbox Series One, Xbox, whatever.
Oh, so here it happens. This is what I had never seen before.
Wow.
We're gonna create a void out
I've never seen it. Yeah, like
because
that.
the boss got me. So I think it's in. It must be because I'm in New Game Plus. The bosses are harder because it just never. It never happened where there was a one-hit kill
Yeah,
in
I've
the
never
game.
had that. So they can gobble you up, like that's what Fingers just said in the chat.
Yeah.
I
That never
tripped over some
happened.
rocks, and they got and Dolphin one gulp killed me.
Yeah, this is the second time this has happened since I've been playing New Game Plus.
Yeah.
That never ever happened once, and I was not good when I was starting out.
Dude, when I was starting out, I was like you. I barely died. This whole thing makes so much more sense now, by the way.
Yeah, because I didn't really get a lot of this, having never seen it outside of like the 5 or 6 times you have to do it in cutscenes.
Yeah. He shows
Oh,
you
we got
his
Moon.
ass, yeah.
Fingers
Or,
in the
I'm
chat.
sorry, she shows you her ass.
Yeah, that's Louise there.
Yeah.
Fingers in the chat, shouts out.
So that's
We're going to
that's-
play some Fingers music in a little bit here too, so stay tuned on the show.
That was one thing that I was a little confused of. So BB is Lou,
Yes.
but is
I wanted to get to this. Like, is there anything that confused you
Is
about the
Lou-
storyline?
just the name he gave BB because of his daughter?
I think him and his... Isn't there a backstory about Sam and his wife, who tragically was postpartum after she had their kid? Or maybe she just got super depressed or something before they were going to have a kid?
Oh yeah, look in the void out because I've never.
And she
seen
caused...
that.
I think she caused a void out. Like,
So is that what?
so he
Whoa.
pushes you out.
Whoa, I've never seen that. Whoa, that's neat.
So yeah, that's what I did before too. So it's interesting. I'm causing all these void outs I never made before.
Yeah, I've never ever seen
Oh,
that.
where's my motorcycle?
So it might have been the void out. Hit the ping it.
Did they push it
Um,
out?
Might
So
have.
yeah, I think Sam had the plans of naming his kid with his girlfriend or something at the time. There's some email stuff I don't think I read about Sam, either his wife or his girlfriend or someone caused a void out.
Yeah, and hey, people in the chat, if you do know, please,
fill us
please,
in.
please let us know.
Because I know for sure that was the whole first void out that like hit Manhattan. That was Cliff's wife, Lisa,
Yes.
and the first BB, which we find out is Sam.
Sam.
Yeah, and that was one thing that was a little confusing once I was getting to all these end cutscenes. Is like, whoa, at first I'm like, is BB Sam? Like, is the fucking baby on my chest in some
Me.
quantum time
Yes.
loop? Yeah, me.
That's what I thought too.
So I didn't really get that. It was like, I had to have that kind of clarified as I was reading more logs and like watching some stuff online. It was like, oh, no. And then he calls her Louise at the end. And then it was
Yeah.
like, oh, no, okay. BB1 was Sam. But once he gets basically rescued on the beach and given his repatriation power
Yeah.
by the extinction entity, he's no longer in the, the Bridge Baby case. He's the like prototype for the project,
Yeah.
which is kind of evil. If you feel like you're gonna make a sacrifice to just have broadband, like how bad do you want 5G, Brian?
Well, so that was.
you
the
want to give
thing.
up your firstborn?
That was the thing is that what was it? It was Lisa, the original one, right? The one who dies.
Lisa's the original still mother, as
Okay.
they refer to her.
Right, but she's like a still mother for herself because she almost died during birth, so part of her caw got locked in the seam or something.
And I think that's what happened with the first void out in Manhattan.
And that's how she found out that she's an EE, which is in
Who, Bridget?
Yes,
Yeah.
Bridget, not Lisa.
Yeah, okay.
And so Bridget finds out in that moment because she gets unstuck through time that
Yeah,
she
there's-
is an EE or
there's a-
unstuck through like
Well, there's all this ha and ka talk, which when you meet Hartman,
yeah
they just kind of start throwing that word around, like, oh, your ha is here and your ka is here. Wait, what?
yeah.
But I feel like this is a, I don't know if it's a Buddhist philosophy.
those are real terms in like.
I think
Buddhism.
this is, yeah, I think this is borrowed kind of theology.
Yes. Oh,
in
it's
a way.
Egyptian. It's
Egyptian. Okay, well,
The
thus fitting the theme of Higgs and all of his
Yeah.
garb and everything.
The
Yeah,
Ka
okay.
was essentially a person's double. It was the life force, and it was the life force, and at death, it was separated from the body. The reason for extensive and elaborate preparation for the body
Oh, I ended up
after
across the fucking.
life was to ensure the Ka had a home. So that's the whole point of Death Stranding. It's like, when our bodies are inside, then our minds are really what. So again, it's questioning you. It's not just giving you one answer. It's not giving you one thing to think about. It's giving you multiple ideas for you to mull over, right?
Yeah.
Like the idea of separating your body from your mind. We are all technically trapped inside now, just like in Death Stranding, right? So we can still go out and explore and be together, as we've all proven we can with Zoom, Discord, Messenger, anything that we're using, and still have community, still build the network. So the chiral network, the thing that brings us all together, is the thing that will end us as well. It's
Yeah.
kind of like that
That
argument
was
too.
that was a cool reveal. It's like, oh, Bridget, which we'll just refer the extinction entity, Bridget, or Amelie.
Yeah.
It's all the same.
Yeah.
Which I didn't really see that coming. I kind of did think like, oh, these are people's daughters and everything out.
Yeah.
That was a cool twist when they started going like, I've never talked to Amelie.
Well,
Have you ever touched her? Have you ever seen her? We've only seen holograms in meetings with her.
I had that thought chapter 3 or 4. I'm like,
Really?
remember we talked about it on the show.
Oh, did we?
I mean, it's
Before
been,
we
it's
knew.
been months. It's been
Yeah, yeah,
months.
yeah.
But like, what I said to you was, have you ever actually had physical contact yet with anybody in the game? Because at that point, I hadn't met like anybody.
Well, yeah,
I'm like,
everyone
aside from
was.
Fragile, is Hartman real? Is fucking
Yeah.
what's his name? Fucking Frankenstein real?
And it wasn't like, are these AIs like the Colonel from Metal Gear 2?
Yeah.
But it wasn't like, no, they're not AIs. They're just like a fucking soul that's
Yeah.
talking to you through the internet.
And he didn't like to be touched, so we never
No.
knew, because he would never let people get near him. So
Yeah.
he couldn't. There was no,
We
know.
get a
So
new
there was
bike.
so much of this world, which, like, they built in it to make it seem, it made it seem like fucking what is going on. Like, so much to ask, so much to question.
Yeah. And not in a totally different metaphysical questioning, universal questioning than we've gotten from the Metal Gear games. Like, I'm so glad it wasn't a repeat of the themes in Metal Gear. I really like that Kojima wanted to get away from tactical
Yeah.
espionage and nanomachines and
Yeah.
all that shit. I love that shit, and it exists.
Yeah.
But I'm glad to see something new, and doing this whole, like, just the concept is so high of, all right, everyone's got a afterlife. You've got your own little purgatory called the beach. You know,
Yeah.
like your beach is different from others, but there's special beaches out there that now we're gonna, you know, the Amelie extinction entity was like, all right, I have to end the world and I want to speed it up because I know I'm out. Like you said, she's pulled outside of time, so she knows like this will eventually happen, but I don't want to, you know, let's just get it over with. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And you know, the Amelie half wants to get it over with. The Bridget half is like, all right, I'm what's gonna make it come to fruition here in the physical realm. Let's invent a chiral network. All right, how are we gonna do that? All right, we're gonna use a bridge baby, this top secret like test we're doing.
Yeah.
We're gonna send data through the beach
Yes.
because it's faster than the speed of light. It's broken outside of time. And then if everyone can connect to this beach, they'll get their data faster. We'll do chiral printing. We can run, scenarios and models
Yep.
outside of a computer. We can run these on the beaches through Amelie in a split second, and we'll know everything. We'll just extrapolate the data of millions of years of history and whatever could happen
Yep.
in the future, and we have this new super fucking information highway. And it's all well and good, but the real use of it is very funny. It's like these 5G conspiracy theorists are like,
Almost, right?
you're giving us this thing that's going to give us fucking cancer and give us COVID-19
Well, shit.
and everything else, and it's going to, you know, turn our fish gay and whatever. But
yeah.
but no, the frogs are turning gay. Sorry. But Amelie and Bridget, their whole thing was like, look, we're going to put up this network, and everyone's gonna want it. Some people, like these, you know, 5G protesters, they're not gonna be into it. They're gonna fucking, you're gonna have to sway them. You know, you're gonna have to deliver this dude's fucking mail order bride from her mom, and then maybe he'll say, all right, I'll fucking join your chiral network. Like, remember you gotta deliver homie's bride before he joins?
Well, yeah, because there are people who are skeptical.
They're skeptical, and for good reason, because Bridget's real intention is, once we get the whole fucking world online, or the whole U.S. in this game,
Yeah.
Then we turn on,
The extinction event.
the extinction event, and everyone's plugged in, so they
Yep.
all.
So it's combining like Evangelion type of shit into this game too. Like, what I loved about this game is that it created its own theology, independent of any other theology. Yes, it's kind of rooted in Egyptian all that stuff.
Ooh, where'd he come from? Hey, buddy. Let me switch out.
But it's kind of about like, almost like Final Fantasy VII's story of, they're drilling for Mako, and the whole time they're like, this is bad. But at the same time, civilization, all the shit that you have, materia, wouldn't exist without any of that. So let's be humble and understand that some progress helps us, but like, raping the planet of its resources and not being conscious of the impact you have is going to be horrible.
Can't you hear the planet screaming out in pain?
Yeah, like it's that good intentions, bad execution kind of situation.
He tried to spear me. Where is this fucker?
Yeah, dude, I get on these guys like I run up on these dudes and I get the strand
way
rope
down
out
there.
and I take him down. Especially
I
want to
give him a far away sleepy time tea.
Yeah, I
Have
love
some
that.
sleepy time tea. This canister has a bear on it in a cozy nightcap.
So yeah, I wish I had more to do in this game other than just do other deliveries. Like I've done all the regular deliveries in the game. There's no other side quests, but I want to do more because it's so much fun, and that's where it'll be for me. I'll go get the mem cards and all the chips and all that
Just
kind
run
of
around, fuck with the photo mode now.
No, I won't fuck with photo mode,
I
but it's
did
cool.
a few times. When I posted that I beat it, that was like
Yeah.
a photo mode edit. But
Yep.
yeah, very, very interesting theme to the overall, like, this is the 6th extinction entity, and that's another thing you kind of have to suspend disbelief on, like, what's an extinction entity? They kind of tell you, all right, they were dinosaurs before, and then there was this, and, these big things have wiped out and kind of reformatted the planet over the years, and this is
Yeah.
another one of them.
Yeah. So it's like, well, I mean, again, they give you a framework for something that is, it makes sense within the game, strips it down so that you don't have to worry about any extra, like, impositions that you might have over what you believe, and it gives you a clean, naked world to play in, and then he gives you a really interesting story about that really is geared to make you think about our existence and what we're doing here.
Sure.
Like the whole idea of what Bridget is thinking is she's being practical. She's like, I mean, I see it. I see the end. Like, eventually, extinction is going to occur. What are we waiting for?
Yeah.
If they're, again, with her, they kind of created the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, right? The deity, the...
Oh, no way. I never thought about that, Brian. That's
Right.
fucking great.
Again,
You're right. It is the fucking Trinity.
it's the Trinity, and it's like, well, yeah, God can either help you or God can smite you, right? God flooded the world in the Bible, so she can end the world. And the chiral network, basically, what it did is she realized that you use beaches because like every beach is different, they're all separate,
Yeah.
but they all exist. So she uses the beaches to connect everybody. So
because
there's-
and is that because her beach is more? I mean, she seems like she can do anything. She gave Higgs his powers to control BTs, and the mask theme is that Egyptian theme as well, is like it seems like everyone with a mask seems to be hiding their true intentions, like as like a metaphor, but also that's imbues them with some kind of power. And she seems to be able to give people that power because she heals, which showing like the corpse of a fetus with a bullet hole in it in cutscenes is like, this
Didn't
is a fucking
expect that.
this is a video game with some high fucking levels of gore.
Yeah.
In a very you don't see in film dead pets and dead fetuses a lot of the times because it's so fucking disturbing for the audience.
Yeah.
So that was a very interesting like reveal when these ending cutscenes were coming up.
Yeah.
And I think like Bridget's power or the extension entity's power can be transferred because she gives not only like she brings Sam back to life and heals him, but she gives him that repatriation technique, which is different than
He's the only one who has that.
yeah, no one else with Dooms has that.
Yeah.
Dooms seems to be a thing that's affecting like people around this, I guess, event. But because who else has the dooms, which is basically like people with powers,
Yeah.
essentially.
Dooms is like you have an ability that
Fragile has it.
Yeah, Fragile, Higgs,
Amelie.
Amelie.
Or Bridget, they
Yeah.
say, but you know.
and then
Did
and
Dead
then-
Man have it, or
Nope.
his whole thing is he has no soul?
Yeah, he's just Frankenstein.
Basically, Frankenstein's
Yeah,
monster, which is great because they give him the fucking scar.
Yeah, he's a body without a soul, and then Hartman is a soul without a body.
No, I think Hartman's just got his weird thing where his heart condition makes him die every 2 minutes.
Well, yeah, I mean he purposefully like stops his heart to go visit the beaches looking for his family.
I thought that was part of his dooms, is his heart stops, and he uses that time to try to look for his family and do research.
Oh.
But
and then-
his thing brings him back to life. But I think part of his doom's condition is that his heart stops.
Okay.
If he wasn't wearing the AED, I don't think he would come back. Which did they throw that out in the end of the game for the longer cutscenes that he
Yeah.
was in? Because it was like he was always on a chair. He would always pass out after 2 minutes. You'd see this countdown.
Yeah.
But there's some pretty big info dump cutscenes, and he's like standing up in the back of the room with them during it. It's like, is he gonna fall on the floor and hit his head?
Sometimes he's like leaned up against something, so he's ready to like pass out for it.
Okay. I mean, I'm not gonna think like they overlooked a detail like that. So
Yeah.
maybe he's, you know what, he's Skyping in. He is really laying down. That's his hologram maybe in the background of those
Yeah.
cutscenes.
So Cyber's been really helpful in the chat. I wanted to read a couple of
Shouts
things
out.
that they said.
Cyber.
So it's basically the neural pathway network where Bridget is the brain or the heart, and all the connections lead to her. So she's the source. So that's kind of like the source of life is Bridget. And in this iteration of extinction level events, she is the machination of that image. Also, shouts out to Linarino, who gave like 10 gift subs here.
Oh, Linarino. Thank you.
Shouts out.
I just saw too. Rocco's ready to jump in
okay,
with us
cool.
in a sec here. I'm gonna text him back. Go ahead.
Here. And then Dooms is something that you catch from exposure to beach things. But basically, I think it's something that you get from Bridget. But Hartman died during the extinction event, which is why he's stuck between life and death. Like he didn't pass on. He's stuck in between. He can't.
He
can't-
bounces back in.
He gets stuck in the seam. So that's what it is. So Bridget uses the seam because that's like timeless or some shit, and it's sort of like the seam is purgatory. So no time passes, but it exists, and you can see all things, but it's not all at once. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. So it's thank you for who is explaining that.
Cyber.
Cyber. Well, let's directly call Rocco's on the Mega 64 podcast account. And let's see what he has to say, because I know
Yeah.
he's got some info and maybe can clear up some of our fuzzy
Sure.
understandings as I deliver to Jeff Keighley.
Okay.
He should be active. If you want to call him directly, we'll see what's going on. We're still like the preppers here in strict quarantine, so Rocco couldn't be in this tiny room with us. So we're going to use technology to our advantage. If it works.
Hopefully. I'm calling him, so.
I know, I saw that he messaged me 16 minutes ago, so it's like, oh shit, there might be a little delay. My phone didn't ring. It's weird.
But yeah, it's like.
Oh, he's got, like, he really is a Ludens fan. He's got fucking posters.
Yeah, it's cool. It's like it's a separation.
I love the little details in every prepper's little, like, entry. They have the music fan's got his records and his CDs and stuff, and like everyone's got their little shit. And he's just got his photos.
Yeah, I like that they gave that personality to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, hopefully that works.
Put my gun
Rocco
away.
should be in the call now. But yeah, I love that this game just gave you a lot of time to think. It tried to make you aware of like different ways of thinking in the game, and like made you just question, you know, it just made you question what we're doing, and then
Right.
it especially just the timing and when it hit, and
Well,
how like
everyone relying so heavily on delivery men.
Yeah.
And then we're here in this situation where, yeah, you're fucking so thankful for the FedEx driver and the UPS guy and the mailman. Because other than that, like, how you getting this shit?
Yeah.
Is this
Rocco?
working? Can you hear me?
There we go. Now we
Hi.
do. Hey.
What's happening, bud?
I didn't want to interrupt what you guys were talking about.
No,
so
no,
I
we
just
were-
kind of sat and listened for a little bit.
We were waxing poetic on the subject here. We've kind of broken down, how we realized, what Bridget was and the whole like wrap up of this game. And we were just talking about what a high concept it would be to like sacrifice a fetus for 5G internet, basically.
Yeah.
But
I mean, 5G is supposed to be pretty fast. I mean, if you put me in the same situation, I don't, it's hard to say.
what do I have to sacrifice for 6G? Because I'll do it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll do it too. I'm in there.
Now, it took me the longest to beat this game, but you and Bryan have obviously beat it as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Did you have any thoughts just overall? Like now that I've finished it and there's no spoilers, like we were going deep on the ending.
Yeah, what's been funny is I've been listening to the stream for a little while now, and only now did I realize how truly useless I feel like I'm going to be here because I beat it like within a few weeks or a month after it came out, and as with any Kojima game, it's incredibly dense and has so many layers to it. I really enjoyed it, but so much has happened since then that I'm listening to you guys like, oh yeah, she was kind of the center of all the nervous system of this entire thing, and it went back to Bridget, and it went like I'm kind of like retracing my steps with all of this, but you guys have experienced it so much more recent than than then. As you can imagine, a lot has happened since this game came out. So I'm recapping a lot of it, but no, I mean, I thought it was. I was really surprised how much the story came together as just a good sci-fi story.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like as vague as everything was kind of advertised, and you thought like, they're going to keep it. Everything is going to be this indescribable, vague, weird thing.
I think even up to like chapter 11, I still didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it ended up being what, 14 chapters? And I guess
I can't remember.
I think it was like 15 or 16.
Right around like 10 and 11, I thought like this is wrapping up. I'm about to fight the last boss. Like that's why I thought I was always at the end of this game.
Yeah.
And it took me so long to go like, no, there's a little more. Here's a little more. Here's some credits, and then here's a little more. Was there anything that was kind of confusing that you remember about the storyline? Because the one thing me and Bryan were discussing was like, wait, was Sam BB? Like, are you on your chest in an alternate dimension and you can only exist? That was something we had to get clarified. At first, we were like, what's going on here? And then we found out, Louise is his daughter. It's a different BB. There's multiple BBs in the project.
Well, and so that.
But he was one.
He was the
one.
first.
He was the one that was shot, right?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I'm recapping it all too.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, and that's good because this is like full spoiler. So anything that helps you make sense of it, because the thing about it, like you said, Rocco, is it's just there was so much happening at once that it's like hold on, I need a minute to connect the dots you just told me before you start talking about the next thing. But it was like so it's like I knew that Sam wasn't the same. Like after a while, I'm like, Sam isn't the same thing that you're carrying on the chest, but I feel like he and this other BB are the only actual BBs that worked, and that the other ones, like even Higgs, he didn't have.
No, he had a doll that Emily made him.
Yeah, and all the so did other people actually have a bridge baby?
Real BB? Well, he got it from that guy on the corpse delivery team.
Yeah.
Remember?
Which I mean could have been totally orchestrated by
Deadman.
I mean, just by Bridges. He was there to do a mission.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, they were orchestrating them from the beginning. Like even, even Deadman has said like in cutscenes, how he like apologizes. He's so sorry for what he did, what he made Sam go through.
Yeah.
But like he had to do it, and I think it's like, when I remember that cutscene, do you remember Rocco? Like Deadman has this breakdown and is like crying at Sam's feet.
Yes.
And I'm like,
Oh yeah, which I wanted to say that was by
Yeah.
far that guy got cheated at the Game Awards. That's all I wanted to say about that.
Dude,
that was by far the best in-game performance I'd seen at least that year.
what's that actor's name? It's I know
John Marston.
Oh,
he was on Twitter a lot.
No, John Rhys
The
Davies.
guy who played Deadman.
Sean Reeves Davies.
That's the guy who played Gimli.
Here, why don't you look it up while
His name
I'm...
in the game
Wait.
is John.
Yeah,
Are you talking about Deadman or are you talking about Die Hardman?
Oh,
Die Hardman.
sorry, Die Hardman. Yeah.
I keep
Yeah.
saying that.
I know,
Yeah, yeah.
everyone's got similar
Tommy
names.
Earl Jenkins.
Tommy Earl Jenkins, yeah.
Yeah, that guy rules.
Once
Yes,
he
he did.
finally got the mask, it's like you don't get to see his face and you don't get to see his
Yeah.
acting prowess until that last end of the
Yeah.
game. But oh my
Yeah.
god, that scene had me really. I'm with you, Rocco. I was like, holy shit, this guy's acting his fucking ass off in this game.
By one of the best performances in any Kojima game, just period.
Right.
Oh,
I mean,
dude.
And
really.
I didn't get the level at first, but then I was thinking back to it, and it's like, oh, he shot a fucking baby Sam and killed him, essentially.
No, he technically didn't, right?
Well, Bridget, see, and this is what I want
Bridget
to ask
pulled
you
the
guys.
trigger and he took the fall.
Well, I want to ask you guys what you think, because
Oh, right.
Bridget's order, John at that point, not, he's not wearing the mask. John is telling Cliff how to get out and how to escape, and it's just not working out for him.
No.
So he's still, even at the end, he's trying to save him and do what he can, but he tells him, I have to do what Bridget says. So if Bridget Strand is telling him, shoot him, John, he's hesitating, and then he has to do it because she grabs his hand. Yeah, do you think that this is... I think he shot Cliff because Bridget's telling him to do it, but he shot a second time to get to kill the baby, which was Sam, so that they couldn't use it for their nefarious bullshit. He's gonna pretend oh my god, I accidentally shot the bridge baby too, but this is my last thing I can do for you, Cliff, is not let your family go through this. I'm gonna take you and your kid out. Or do you think that was truly an accident?
I know for sure that it was at first it was supposed to be he was following orders and did what she said, but then it was clear that she put her hand around his and pulled the trigger for him. So,
Right.
yeah, holding the gun, but the action wasn't his. And he was conflicted because he had to follow orders, but he loved this person. Again, Kojima will always put shit in games. It's not just about the story. The whole game is supposed to also symbolize you as the individual. You're Amelie. You're the reason. You're the source. You're the cause of what's happening in this game. You're choosing, and all the decisions that you make come from you here.
Yeah.
And each person, this is your beach. Each person has their own Death Stranding with their own things in it, and it crosses over with other people, but this is your beach. So you are this game. That's how Kojima builds it. Literally, Metal Gear Solid 3, it's here's a psychoanalytical approach to all of your emotions. The fear, the joy, the sorrow.
Yeah.
It's so embedded in all of his work. It's not just about the game. It's about the experience of life. And that's kind of what Amelie is talking about at the end when she's on the beach. It's yeah, I could end this. Yeah, the ability to stop all of this is within my grasp. But then you guys wouldn't have the ability to experience it and make your own choices.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's what you guys want, then who am I to take away your choice to have that? And that's why, then she makes the decision that she does. Again, it's talking about us. Why are we alive? To experience life. What are we doing with the time that we choose? Are we living in the sorrow and the pain? Are we fucking taking the joy? Are we bringing happiness and spreading that? The whole thing about
In the end, it's very Rocco. We kind of tied it into how Ava works. It's the choice is up to Sam. She leaves it up to him, Bryan. At that end scene, Amelie's here's a stick, but she hands him that gun. She's it's not gonna work the way you think it will. And it's Shinji's choice. What do you do? What do you want to do?
Yeah.
Do you want to?
I'm glad we tied this into Evangelion. I was worried we weren't going to get that mentioned.
No, Bryan already did.
too similar.
Bryan did
Yeah.
it way earlier, but really it's Amelie going, look, I already know how it's gonna turn out. I know it's all fucking pointless, but here's your decision, Sam.
And with that beach, it's much like the beach of the island where Jacob gives his candidates a choice.
It is.
The whole black-white debate.
But no,
I didn't mean to.
Why are we bringing them up in the same vein? All of these things, all of these pieces
the
of
Odyssey.
media talk about the same sort of thing. It's the experience of life. What's the point of what we're here for? I mean, Metal Gear Solid 2 has a song, Can't Say Goodbye to Yesterday. Listen to it, and it is exactly the theme of all of his games. It's like, like the lyrics to that song are "Who am I?" Like, hold on, let me look it up too.
Well, and also, speaking of lyrics and a song, once the final act plays and BB's theme gets lyrics, like, that was fucking great. 'Cause
that was wonderful.
That mission I avoided so bad. I was like, I can't. You have to take BB to the incinerator.
Yeah, I didn't want to.
I didn't want to, and I kept going like, no, don't. The game's wanting you to like put this here, deliver the baby. I put it off. It took me like an hour to do that mission because like
I didn't want to.
I was playing with a camera. I walked around the building. It's like I'm not ready to give baby away.
Yeah,
that's.
I really loved the music, as you said there. That made it a great moment. But in addition to that, I loved that you used all the tools left behind by that guy who died in like the beginning of the game. What's his name? What was his name? Randy or what the hell was his name?
The guy you get the BB unit from?
Yeah.
That guy. All the ladders and like ropes left behind during that scene.
You're right.
Yeah.
They're all left behind by
it's
that guy.
That guy's name because it says Joe or something on it.
Yeah.
And I was like, who's this Joe who left all this stuff? And I went, oh, this is like an in-game thing because you can't load out with any equipment during that mission.
Nope.
And I was going, well, what if I need to climb a ladder?
And you go the original way you climb.
Igor Fingers is on it.
Igor, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you, Stiz brother and
I thought
Fingers.
it was Randy. I was close enough. Randy.
Hey, Randy is a great default I don't know name. That guy Randy.
Yeah, Stiz brother and Fingers were right there in the chat. It was Igor. It was like showing you like, hey, this guy's stuff, like the guy who died in that opening cutscene, like.
Yeah,
he's gonna get you to your final mission.
It's just hammering home the theme of like leaving things behind. Leaving things for people to for the next generation to take and thrive with. It's just leaving something for others, and all the themes of the game, and it's just one of those nice little touches. You didn't even have to notice it, but it's there. I really like that.
Right, like
I do want to.
Go ahead.
I want to get into the what you were saying though about like. The choice that Bridget gives them and like the whole ideology with that whole last part. And I always look at like Kojima is always trying to like give a little commentary on what's going on with him too.
Yep.
Sure.
And Phantom Pain, I kind of when that ended, I kind of I don't want to totally spoil if people haven't played it, I guess. But
it's been 5 years.
I mean, we're spoiling this. You can spoil Phantom Pain. So.
Yeah, exactly.
How much shit I have.
With that ending, it was kind of like there's two snakes, and he says like, well, which one was really Snake? And he's like, it's you too. It's not just me. It's you, and we shared this adventure together, and I couldn't have done it without you. And I always felt like that was Hideo talking to the player that made Metal Gear what it was, and I don't know. I always thought that was a really great message. But in this game, I thought it was kind of the nihilism of the video game industry a little bit. I don't know if that's the best way to describe
I can see that,
but you have Higgs kind of representing this negativity that he wants to bring the whole world into. Again, apocalypse is happening, just enjoy it kind of thing.
Sure.
And every time you interact with him or you have a battle with him, it's all the tropes of every other fucking video game that has already existed. Yeah. Call of Duty, yeah, great.
He's the boss fights
with the two energy bars. And I think he represents a voice that's like, look, why try for anything more? This works. Just do that.
Yeah.
Sure.
People want this. Yeah, here's the boss that you were waiting for. Here it is, Whereas, I think what Bridget's kind of talking about is, the choice that's there, I guess, is just, do you want to go that route, or do we want to work harder for something better? You know, everyone's telling Hideo, like, yo, what are you doing? This game is fucking psychotic.
And
like,
it is harder
why-
work.
Yeah, it's harder.
it's a
harder
whole
work,
new.
and
It's this like mountaineering, simulator where you have to hold your shoulder pads to keep your gear steady and everything. And like when your shit falls and crumbles and into a river, you have to chase it down. And it's interesting. It is harder.
And everyone in the world is going to tell you, yo, this is like, why are you making this? This is stupid,
Yeah.
And the industry is still, at the end of the day, going to favor Call of Duty and all these other games that have happened a million times. So you're fighting a losing battle, but is it worth leaving your mark and still trying to make a better tomorrow for those who don't want to be part of that same cycle? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and I think that's why when you go into these inherently kind of evil parts of the game, again, like when you fight Higgs, it's like a fighting game. When you get sucked into these like war parts of the game, it feels like Call of Duty. It feels like it feeds into the cycle that video games have been stuck in for a long time. And so I look at that half of it as, kind of the metaphorical side of all the sci-fi things that are also going on, and that's what I really liked about it. Of course, that's just, again, my interpretation of it, but I always kind of, maybe I'm looking into it too much, but that's always kind of what I take away from his work, is he always has a commentary on games and where they're going. And,
Absolutely.
I don't know.
He literally, like, I mean, like Cyber in the chat just said it. Like, Higgs is full of wall breaks. He is.
Yeah.
He is Peter Englert.
Yeah.
They literally catfish you in that game.
Yeah.
They catfish you the whole time. It's like, online personas don't mean that there's actually, a person behind it too. It could be AI, but it could
in this
be
case it wasn't.
connections. Yeah.
Did you see the connection coming where Cliff is your father? I just had inklings early on. That was the only thing that I thought maybe. Did I solve this? Have I figured this out? Sam and Cliff seem to share some connection. What could it be? Well, they're kind of age appropriate. If he died during these wars, if he fought during these wars and Sam is his future son, like it would fit.
Yeah.
Oh, look, Bryan.
Yeah.
This void out is still here. This is the first one I made when I came back out.
Yeah.
But I kind of saw that coming. How do you guys feel? Did you ever see that on the horizon?
I never had that thought.
I
never did.
I never really.
I thought they did. Yeah.
Go ahead, Rocco.
Oh, I never thought that. I thought they did a great job making it all about BB. Like I
Sure.
thought he's coming for BB, and there's got to be. In retrospect, I guess I should have thought it would have made a little more sense if there had been a stronger connection there, other than I just want this baby in a tube.
Yeah.
It makes sense in retrospect, but no, I really didn't think that. And that ended up being actually my favorite part of the story, is realizing all of these interactions were kind of like him kind of looking for you, and it makes all these little scenes really like tragic.
Yeah.
Like that really.
You're in those
affected
war
me.
zones, and he's always going, "I want my BB. Give me BB." And it's like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to
He's-
give you fucking BB. It's my BB.
but he's not after
talking about
Lou.
you.
He's not after Lou. He wants to like make an atonement with his son for
Yeah.
the life that he kind of set him up to
It makes
live.
all those parts so much more heavy and just
Yeah.
tragic. And I really that to me was the power of the game right there. Like all the other stuff aside, like getting into the nitty gritty of the sci-fi stuff is always fun with any Kojima game, but
Definitely.
they made the connections between those characters and others too. The emotional ties were really, really good, and especially with those two, and that really affected me quite a bit.
And it didn't
Ooh,
really.
these are special ones.
Yeah, it didn't fuck me up or anything that I was thinking ahead of time. Like, oh, I wonder if Sam is Cliff Unger's kid or in some weird way.
Yeah.
And wow, failed to escape from the BTs. I've never seen that screenshot.
Neither have I.
Load test. That's weird.
Wow.
But I remember just kind of seeing like this interaction between them, and it's like, what is that connection? Maybe that is, father and son. But it's not like it was revealed at the end, and I was like, "Oh fuck yeah, I knew it." That ruined it for me. Like, I didn't see it coming. It was just a thought I had, but I was curious if anyone else did.
And that was what was cool about that, is that like they gave you a lot of ideas, but they never gave you one to like get behind 100%. until it was very
Yeah.
clear what was going on, and then that made it really like. Again, it was just more of a hold on. You gave me too much information to process. I need to hear that again. Than it was anything else for me. It was just like, oh man, that was a lot of info that you just gave me, and there's a lot to parse through and organize. But I know it all makes sense.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, the fact that they just made this game the way that they did to look like a PS5 game. You know, again, Kojima is smart. Hey, I want to make a game that looks spectacular. I want to make a game that blows people's minds. And
this is we're playing on a base PS4,
Yeah,
and this game
on fucking PlayStation 4 Pro with 4K HDR, like.
I bet it's just even more.
What made the connection,
It was incredible.
It was so crazy. Like, what makes the connection to this game so strong isn't just the fact that like it's well written, but the animation is so good that you see their faces. The reason, I mean, again, think about the way Kojima thinks about putting together a game. When we sat through his GDC fucking conference 10 years ago talking about why he started to do stealth games, because shooting in a game you could only have a certain number of sprites on the screen because that's what the hardware could handle.
Yeah.
So Kojima thinks, how can I start at the max amount of what I can do on this system and make it work for this game? So again, simple concept. You're delivering packages. It doesn't need to be super and extravagant. But in those intimate moments, we get great high-fidelity shots of these characters where fucking damn near looks real. Like, you can see the fucking seam of people's tucked-in shirts beneath their garments. Like, so the idea of his development is, well, it takes place in America, but I don't have to develop all of America, and you can make rock and green textures look amazing, as Red Dead proved. And you can put all of the engine behind making the characters something you connect to. And then the rest of it is build the story, a good story around it. And that's what Kojima always does. He takes the technology, he makes it super simple, and then he puts a fun, engaging game that pulls you along the whole time to keep you engaged with something that's just like fun and exciting. So...
Yeah, he does a great job at it, but he's always doing something that makes it look like it should be on the next system. You know, like seriously, I remember after years of having a PS3, I remember going back to, I'd never played Snake Eater before, and I went back like, okay, it's time to go try that, you know, and when I got to that last fight with the boss, I was like, all the individual flowers blowing in that, this does not seem like the PS2 should do this. Like, it felt really weird. Like, I was like, what generation was this game? Like, this does not seem right.
Yeah.
There's always something like that.
the last games to come out in a console's life cycle are always the best, too. And it's like, this is right at the end of the PS4. I wonder, do you guys think that this will get some kind of PS5, like...
Oh, absolutely.
Special edition with up-res, you know...
I think they've
I don't know if there's
say
a
that
need.
they're just gonna
I think it... My gut says they will, but
a patch
we're
could
also
do
heading,
that.
We're heading into a very different time where PS5 is going to play 4 games, you know, right away. So I don't know. Yeah, maybe there will be a patch or you know, but honestly, if they did like a really bang up job with that and sold it as its own thing, you know, I would buy it. I'd have no hesitation, but hopefully it would keep like the game save or something, you know. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna have like you can just boom, you license this game, if you have it, pop it in. It's and then hopefully it's like, hey, here's the $15 patch, like Borderlands 3 did, or Borderlands 2 had like you could get an hey, we did HD textures because we're developing Borderlands 3.
Yeah.
We did this for Borderlands 2 probably just to see if it was stable, and now, you know, here it is if you want to play Borderlands 2 with this like high textured HD.
Or like because oh, go ahead.
But what I really think is going to happen is that these were all underdeveloped games. Are clocked under their cap.
Yeah.
Like and I think that's very, very clear with a game like Final Fantasy VII, with certain door textures and things like that not loading. Basically, what they wanted is to give you the meat and potatoes of the game, which is the overall feel. They wanted you to have the ability to get the actual setting. Then the fidelity tweaks, all of the back-end stuff that they need a higher processor to run. That's the stuff that's going to be coming in PS5 and Xbox in the future series. I really think, like, especially looking at this and 7 Final Fantasy 7 and Resident Evil and all of those, it's like, hey, visually, we're not going to get that much better in terms of fidelity. And
Sure.
they look like people. It look like,
Yeah, we're getting to
again,
that point.
Red Dead fucking looks real. When I go back and play it, and I'm like, this game is 2 years old, and it's got, and again, why did they make a game in the Wild West? Because you don't have to build giant megalopolis fucking cities. You can make beautiful textures out in the wild, which are picturesque, and have draw distance like
Sure.
here, and the game looks next gen. Because
Yeah.
they're fucking smart. So you
Well, they're playing within their limits.
right. So you push to the peak of the gaming limit, like the mechanics, and that's what I think. That's why I think, like, next gen, they're gonna just be like, here's the patch, here's a free update for PS5 as an enticing thing. Like, hey, all your 4 games are now like, you know, like PS4 Pro. It's like now they look like even better on this system. But yeah, I think that what's going to happen with this next generation is going to be more back-end technology based.
So you think, like, it'll just have a patch maybe to up-res the graphics and
Right.
like, if you a patch for Death Stranding on PS5 to just make the most out of, you know, what's
Right.
already there.
Either or just because it's similarly developed to.
Can
I
you
mean,
go over water? Oh, but you hoverboards don't work on water.
if you don't have enough speed,
You have to have
Unless
power.
you have power!
Oh, I got stranded.
oh, fuck,
Death
Garrett
Stranded.
Stranded. I really think that it's going to be. I think it's going to be because of how games are developed now. Oh yeah, have you ever thrown something at a person?
I have. I've thrown cases.
That's my favorite thing to do when I'm running into a base to infiltrate. It's like, hey, motherfucker, here's a briefcase.
Boom! Yeah,
and then
that
I
is-
just keep on running through and fuck people up.
It is fun.
But, like, I think that, like, we're going to start to see these really up-res games because they're developed on computers. Previously, it was developed on proprietary hardware. That's the point I'm getting at. So previously developed on proprietary hardware that only one fucking company was developing on. Sony, Xbox, whatever.
You had a
right?
dev kit.
Yeah, like, now you're using computers. And what you can do in that is basically and that's what they did with GTA 5. That's why it looks incredible on fucking PS5. Same thing with Last of Us. They under-promised on that, or under-promised on that game and over-delivered. So under the texture of what we saw on PS3 was the PS4 game. They just boosted all of the graphics settings and tweaked all of the things because the PS4 could manage it better. So that's what I think is going to happen with PS5. All of this stuff is going to be able to look a lot better just right away because the processing power of the PS5 and Xbox, the new whatever it's called, are going to have that processing power.
Sure.
Just like how it does on PC, like the PC upgrade.
Yeah, interesting.
Did somebody give 25 cents? Oh, shit. Thank you, Dylan. Linarino just gave a fucking another 25
Thank
subs.
you.
Holy
Wow,
shit.
Linarino. Linarino's killing
Thank you, Dillamino.
Yeah. Holy fuck.
Thank you, Dollar Bill, y'all.
Dollar bills. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think, was this all our game of the year for, I guess, 2019?
Yes.
It was my game of the decade, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that there was a game that
Oh, wow.
that pushed me to feel what
Yeah,
this one felt like.
Yeah, that's true. You disagreed that I chose Metal Gear 5 as a better game over this on the podcast, right, Bryan? Do you think that Phantom Pain is because that was Rocco asked me. And what do you think, Rocco? Do you think you kind of agreed with me? Phantom Pain maybe had a little bit more to it as far as gameplay.
I really loved Death Stranding as a complete package.
Sure.
I don't think of Phantom Pain as the complete package the same way as Death Stranding, but it still had that chaotic Metal Gear energy that I love, and it tied into a universe that I love. So I still would pick Phantom Pain.
Yeah, I think with that, like, Metal Gear 5 was, I mean, obviously we know it's an incomplete game.
Well,
Well, I mean, we know that there's like a third chapter that never got fucking
Sure.
released. The game that I played, though, I felt
I
was
hate that
very-
everyone knows that, because if no one knew that, no one would say that's an incomplete game.
Well, I mean, it's the reason to say it is so that it explains why the game ends on what feels like a fucking like, you know, not even a cliffhanger, but just incomplete. The game feels incomplete at the end because
See, it didn't feel incomplete
to
to me
me.
personally.
It definitely felt like there was going to be a third chapter that explained, or not explained more, but just gave you more on this story with Eli and what they were going to do with that. I mean, it was in all of the books and everything. I remember reading and hearing about all that stuff, and I feel like that would have just helped. I feel like what I'm saying is the pacing made it feel abrupt that it ended when it did, and it was like, oh well, I get that. There was supposed to be more.
Sure.
So I don't feel like it's an incomplete game. I just feel like I can see how it has that feeling.
I wish, I mean, I see that with like, okay, yeah, it did feel like, well, that certainly abruptly ended right there or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm also perfectly content with, like, if I didn't know anything else about this game, I would have been perfectly content with, like, Eli goes off and later we see him as Liquid doing his shit. Like, I didn't feel like it was fundamentally incomplete without that. But it was, we know that part. It's a little awkward, I guess, more than anything.
Yeah.
But it didn't take away from the game for me.
No.
So,
It didn't take away from and really, again, that game was about you experiencing the game. Kojima likes to try to detach you from the attach you to the characters, right? Like, it's a character you're playing as, but you're making the choices, and it is you, but it's not you, and it's your avatar, but it's a representation of your decisions. So, right, like it was so not ham-fisted, but so very, very much in the subtext of Metal Gear 5 of like, who is Big Boss? Well, come on, you don't get it by 6 games now. You are Big Boss. You are Solid Snake. You are the protagonist.
Yeah.
Like, the avatar changes. It's always you. You're the decision maker. So be who you want to be. And that's why, for me, I didn't want to kill when I played Metal Gear 5. And that's why I enjoyed it so much. Because it was like, no, I want to be Big Boss that set out in World War II and like really is following Boss's ideals of like
The
live for
boss's
yourself.
will.
Well, the boss's will is to help everybody realize no nations, no people. Again, Death Stranding is doing this too. No nations, no people, no allegiances other than to the things that are important to you. You have to decide why you're doing anything. You have to decide, are you an American because that's just the name that you're giving yourself, which you're born into? Or are you an American because you like the ideals of America? What America's like ideals stand for, of being like, out there and helping people, like what we think of the golden era of America looking like, right?
I just want to reopen the country, Bryan.
I never seen that. It's a big ass fucking handprint.
Oh, I haven't either.
Does it look like that?
What is? I can't see it.
The void out.
Void out.
When you make a void out, it is actually the shape of a giant handprint. Because, Rocco, when you played the game, did you ever die, like completely get killed and cause a void out?
I don't know if I ever did. I don't know.
It never happened to me in my entire
I don't think so.
gameplay.
No, I
And-
mean, I went down into the repatriate
Yeah.
thing or whatever.
Yeah.
I floated around and then I came back. Yeah, I think that's all.
But you never came back, and there's a huge crater like you caused a void out.
Yeah, maybe that did happen in the beginning. I can't remember. It's been so long.
I heard people talking about it, and I honestly didn't know until I beat the game, and I was like, let me just see what happens. And yeah, oh, look at the oil is a big black handprint.
Yeah.
Down there.
And that's what I was
Wow.
wondering if that's what it looked like. So yeah, it's like it stamps you out, right?
If
It's like reaching the
well, also like these are the end boss versions of the BTs. They're all gold too.
Yeah.
So it's like, I guess New Game Plus it throws like harder shit at you.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah.
But yeah, anything else, Rocco? While we don't want to keep you on all night, we're gonna cut to a commercial break and play some Fingers track here in a second. A little remix.
I think that's mostly it. I mean, the aspects that I talked about were my favorite aspects of the game. You know what I mean? Like, I love the sci-fi stuff. but I always look at the metaphorical side of it too. And this game gave me a lot of that to chew on. So I loved it, and it was a really cool sci-fi. I always appreciate a sci-fi story that just isn't like anything else. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
That was why I was so. I mean, not to bring it up again, but why I gravitate so much to. I joked about Evangelion or Lost or whatever, but I always love when something doesn't just turn into spaceships or vampires. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's something wholly original, and I think we need more of that. You know, so for me, for a sci-fi child at heart and lover of unique gameplay, it checked all the boxes for me, so I loved it. But I think that's mostly how everything I was passionate about that I wanted to say.
Yeah.
I think you guys have covered it very well, everything
Yeah.
I've heard so far.
No, it's cool. I mean, people like this format of the three of us doing these long form spoiler kind of
Yeah.
stories. So it's cool to go in deep on these like last cutscenes and talk about some of the metaphors that are used here. And
'Cause it's
honestly,
right.
Yeah.
well, yeah, but the three of us talking about it, I'm learning stuff from you two that I didn't think about before. And
Right.
I'm sure it goes both ways and everything.
And think about even
Yeah.
the presentation, how they roll you out in this game. They make you think that you're going to be in this like post-apocalyptic world, like you're running back to that city, right?
Yeah.
And you run outside of the city, and it's like, nope, you're in the green. It's just you. It's by
Yeah.
yourself. It's forcing you to be alone, to be like Sam. And
And-
then everybody going, oh, it was a huge mistake that they didn't let you have the music player out in the world. No, Sam can't sustain the music. Where's he going to get his discs? You know, like he is out there by himself. You have
Sure.
to be in solitude with
That'd
him.
be cool for New Game Plus. Give me the
Yes.
Walkman.
Yeah.
You know, for these
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Yes.
This 2-week period, but really, other than that, with the music limitations and who knows with because of streaming or whatever licensing issues, it's so dicey with music. So I'm not gonna knock them too hard on that. But the game was so good about, like you said, you go out there, you're in the post-apocalyptic wasteland out front of the city, but then you're all just in green and you're walking in beautiful hills. And just when that starts to get like, is that all this game is? Hey, here's a motorcycle. And then when that's just about to be like, all right, I've rode the motorcycle enough, here's the truck. Oh, build these roads. Okay, I built all the roads. Now what could possibly... Oh, hey, check out zip lines.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
evenly dispersed throughout the chapters to where the game keeps evolving, and it's not about walking anymore. It turned into like, I'm fucking driving, and I'm all about maximum efficiency. I'm filling the capacity of this truck to the brim, and I'm taking it on 5 stops along the way.
Or it's
Yeah.
plotting out which deliveries I'm going to take to 5-star, which areas in what succession. So yeah, that's why, again, for me, I can't continue because it's like I 5-starred everything, so what's there to get? There are no more story missions, so what's there to do?
Yeah.
But like,
But I loved being able to do that.
Yeah.
Now, with those 5 stars on all 35 preppers, your stats are crazy. You can carry shit super high, and
Yeah.
you're well balanced because you got the all-terrain legs. There's so many different ways for everyone to play it, and I think we all gave it our Game of the Year 2019 for good reason. But thank you so much, Rocco. It's good to have you on as a caller. I don't think we've ever done that.
Yeah, sorry again. I couldn't be there in person. I was
fucked up, dude.
There's no room,
So
bro.
fucked
I
up.
mean, we got the turntables over on the couches here, and
No, I'm pissed.
And with social distancing, we would have had to knock a wall out, or something. I didn't want to do that.
I actually set up a chair here for you. Everything was gonna go, but
No, I'm glad we were
Son
able
of
to
a
at least
bitch.
have you come in to talk about it, because like,
Yeah.
I mean, come on, we have to have Rocco when we're talking about a Kojima title.
would be remiss without
Well,
you.
thank you for thinking of me.
Of course.
Thanks, man. We'll talk to you. God, we got a Corona cast. No, quarantine. Mega 60 quarantine tomorrow.
No, that's the new Corona. We're calling it Corona Cast. now.
Corona
Corona
cast.
cast.
But
Well, with two. I was gonna say 2 Qs. Why was I thinking that? That doesn't even
Corona.
make sense. I
I thought you were gonna put
I was
two
thinking of
Oh,
quarantine.
quarantine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just an idiot. Ignore
No,
it.
hey, I'm just typing it in the chat. I like Corona cast.
Corona cast with 2 Qs. Corona.
Corona cast.
All right,
Oh, man.
we'll see you tomorrow, man.
Okay, make sure. Hey, tonight's the last night for everyone
That's
to pick
right.
up masks.
Can you tell them?
They're
not
actually
this.
they're going to be up. They're going to be up for 40 more minutes. So if anybody wants one,
Hey.
it's
Not the
literally the last time.
Not the shirt. I just put up the wrong thing, but we do have those masks, and they are going to be
They're
up
awesome.
for. You
Yeah.
said for how much longer?
40 more minutes.
40
40 more minutes. So if you guys want to get in on that, that's the new mask that we are selling. Shop.mega64.com.
That's right. Part of the proceeds go to what's it called?
What was
Children's.
it? Children's charity, Rocco? Is he still there with
Save
us?
the children.
Save the children.
Save the children.
I love every time we go to someone with that, they are not prepared. Like Derek on the podcast on Sunday, he's like, I don't know, Sean made it up. But
Yeah, they had no. We all investigated that, but I think all of us are afraid to misspeak about
it's so
like
touchy.
we want to do it right.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it is. Like the first
It's
thought
delicate.
in my mind goes to like some joke charity from a show, and I'm like, I don't want to do that on a stream and make us not look right.
Yeah.
You know, like we're doing
we're
this
good
for a
at-
good
we're
cause.
good- Yeah, we're good at bullshitting, but there's sometimes you don't want to bullshit.
Exactly.
right.
And when it's something like this, we want to make sure that we give shouts out to the people who are out there helping the people
Yeah.
who need help.
As always, shop.mega64.com for everything and more. Well, thanks again, Rocco.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
good to hear from you, and I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, yeah. See you then. Thanks,
All right.
everyone.
Let's listen to Little
Bye.
Fingers. You guys, I loaded this into my equipment and realized it's a WAV and not an MP3.
Whoa.
So
Lost list.
So you're getting a fucking premiere version. Here's his Low Roar remix. We'll see y'all in just a sec. We'll be right back. a third beer. I didn't realize this was beer
Oh yeah.
until I was talking to the farmer couple, and they're like, "Yeah,
Why is he shaking it up?
oh no, Sam Bridges, Sam Strand, you
Well, it's
mother."
because he's already had. He gets more drunk as you drink.
Yeah, and then you have trippier cutscenes and shit when you look at Lou. But I was listening to the dialogue, or I was reading the emails, I can't remember, from the Timefall farmers, and the like science behind how they're trying to brew beer using Timefall to germinate and like grow the yeast and the wheat and the hops and the barley in advanced ways. I was like, oh, that's like a brilliant, weird little side story in the world that fleshes it out. Like, yeah, there would be farmers who are using Timefall to their advantage to grow crops faster.
Yeah.
In a controlled environment, if you like drip the Timefall, it'd be like, boom, my tomato plant blooms every day. You know what I mean? Like, that kind of thing fleshed out, I thought was really, really cool.
And it's really fucking great that they put that in there. Also, you have a finite supply of beer.
I like that if you drink it all, the monster came back.
Yeah.
But then if you drink all the monster again, you can get the beer back.
Oh, I've never gotten the beer back.
This is the second time
because I've drank all the monster, but I never got the beer back.
I did it both. Like, I tested it both ways.
I wonder if you have to be in a certain place, but
oh wait, why'd I leave? I was gonna take Fragile Express. That's what I wanted to go to the big map.
Oh.
I want to go to the.
If you keep looking at his feet in the room, you'll see.
Yes.
I've never seen that. Okay, let's check it out.
Let's do that one.
Oh,
I did that once.
You've gotten one that I'm gonna have to get in a month, which is signing in on your birthday.
Oh yeah, I got the birthday cake. Yeah, that's right.
Which I didn't know they had that in Metal Gear 5. So when I happened to sign in on my birthday one day.
Oh, with
Yeah, they're like, "Happy birthday, boss," and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Dun 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 dun.
Which
dun,
makes me want to
dun.
play 5 again.
That was it's interesting. He always puts that in his games.
Yeah, well, he wants you to know he appreciates you as the gamer.
I do love the fact that you can go back and experience, because some of my favorite stuff was actually those Cliff World
Cliff
War
Under,
II, Vietnam as the last one, like those boss fights in like kind of our real world environments. Like, did you notice there's like World War I, World War II, Vietnam, and then I think that was
it.
Well, no, there was 4, right? Or were there only 3?
Well, I think you go to World War I twice.
You spend a lot of time, like with Dead Man in those tunnels and stuff. Yeah, right.
And then the way you got beer back is actually you did a delivery for the Timefall farmers.
Oh,
again.
that's how I got it back.
Yeah, because once you drink it all, it went away for me. Yeah. But yeah, I wonder what looking at his feet does.
I did this once, but I can't remember.
Oh, okay. I'll have to do it when I get home then.
But I think it's like he doesn't want you perving out. Oh,
but
Tarantino
look
style.
At how fucking real his feet look right now.
Well, that's what my feet look like. Those veins and
right.
We could show feet in a sec here, but
dude,
I take my word for it.
I'm wearing flip flops.
Norman.
Dude,
no, you know what? It's his crotch.
So,
I remember when I zoomed in on his crotch, he would do a thing.
So if like
he covered. See how he covered that up, and he gave me this slide eye.
Before we were in the chat, or before we came back from our break, he needed a shower, and I love that he communicates to the camera like,
"Please take a shower."
But yeah, I mean, hey. I never fucked around with him in here.
You get his dick.
Yeah,
dude.
he doesn't. Oh! I've never seen these. Oh my god!
I was thinking of that, so I don't know what feet does. I guess does he just tap his toes?
This is what I want to ask. So, all right, feet fetish are like flip flops or thong flip flops like
what was that?
Are those like thong underwear? Like if I'm wearing one of these.
Oh yeah, like a thong.
And you see the whale tail. Like, is that
Does that do it for you?
Does that do it for some people?
I bet if
like
you
this
see
little
you see the thong string hanging through.
You get up into this area here between big toe, little toe. You see this line here?
Yeah, show us that line.
Right here.
Yeah, that's kind of like a G-string hiked up some butt cheeks.
Right? Like you pull it real high. Yeah.
It's essentially the same piece of fabric.
Or is it more that people like like this part of the foot? Or like is anybody ever really like big on like here?
Oh, heels?
Like is anybody big on the heel?
People want that heel. Right now people are imagining this heel coming down and crushing them as if they were like a tiny
Is that like a
tiny
nectar, like a grape that people suck on? Like
Is there anyone jerking off to this right now?
Definitely, dude.
Thank you.
They
Please pay me.
They do like that. Bryan wants to join an OnlyFans for feet.
I'm just telling you. I know how to make people horny.
Who doesn't?
Let's
let's see if we get a weird cutscene. It seems like I get the weird cutscene every time I go to check on Lou. Oh, not this time. The normal one. He's blowing raspberries. She is. That was a reveal, too, that was, like, inconsequential, really, to the end of the game. Like, it was cool when you got to the end, and I knew, because they foreshadow that. Like,
Yeah.
we don't know what would happen if you took BB out of the tank, but it's worth a shot. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
why is he telling me this? Obviously, that's what I'm going to do. So that's why I was so hesitant in, like, setting him in the incinerator.
Yeah, me too. I'm
And then I finally,
know I'm
like-
gonna take him. Let's fucking take him out.
I thought I tried to kill myself in front of there because
Really?
I was like, maybe I have to repatriate myself and then I will get him out because I don't know. And I was like, no, there's nothing high enough to jump off of. Like, I don't know. Let me just go through what they want me to do. And then, of
Yeah.
course, you know, he snatches him up right at the last second,
Yeah.
which was like, of course.
Yes.
That's all I wanted to have happen.
The coolest thing about this game was the perception that you actually had a choice.
Yes.
At the end on the beach with Amelie,
Yeah.
Or Bridget?
I didn't try to shoot her.
you can't.
You can, and the gun doesn't. Nothing
Yeah.
happens. So I didn't even try
I did
that.
both. So yeah, I actually did it 0, and I let it game over me in that scene because I didn't know. I just didn't do anything.
I read about it afterwards, but I
Yeah.
went as soon as she's like, "Here's the gun." I was like, "Fuck that!" And I went out to her and touched her, which is what you're supposed to do.
Which is I didn't try to touch her. I just waited.
oh, you just let time run out.
Yeah, I'm like,
Oh.
well, no, I don't. I mean, maybe she's right.
You don't know what to do.
And it's like, well, no, this is the point of the game. So I love that there was no. Again, video games give you the perception of free will, but really it's a sandbox. you
Yeah.
know? And that's what I loved about this game. The experience is what you want it to be. Yeah, it was really, really cool.
Should we go back to Hartman's? Yeah.
Sure.
I haven't been out. Old Hartman had, I think, the best.
You know why, Sam?
What do you call it?
It's good to see you.
Compound?
Yeah.
Or
his building.
his
Remember how to
bunker?
do this?
He had the fucking hot tub on the roof and that
Yeah.
beautiful fucking fireplace in the lobby.
Yeah.
Hartman definitely had the hookup.
Also, I loved the. It took me all game to realize what it meant when she said, "I'm fragile, but I'm not that fragile." It's like a triple entendre. It's I'm fragile, which is my name, but I'm
Yeah.
not that fragile, so I'm not
Delicate.
easily delicate. But it's also telling you I'm fragile, which is my name, but I'm not the fragile that means that I'm broken.
And I like how they say it two different ways too. They're like, I'm fragile, but I'm not that fragile.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, all right, you're
'Cause again,
pronouncing it two different ways now, too.
Because I realized it was really trying to tell you it's like
The end game picture is the best.
Yeah,
too,
I love
with the
that.
rainbow back there.
I love that. It's like it's a cute play, you know. It's
It's
letting
true.
you know. It's like it could be again what you make it. It's fragile
all-
because we're all broken people inside, or we're all stronger than we appear. You know, I'm fragile, but I'm not that fragile. You know,
Yeah.
I'm fragile, but I'm not the one that's Anyway, but I can be hurt too. You know, it's cool.
Well,
Again,
yeah, you get the whole story of her and Higgs and that betrayal and how that weaves in to why. That's why she feels guilty for causing some of this mess.
Yeah.
And wants to help Sam out to help fix it. Now we promised we would talk to other peeps in
We
the Discord.
should.
There's other people that have been very cool and very patient in the Discord, so we'll be grabbing you in right now.
Charles Big Boy. I don't think I can resist his name.
I can't. I definitely can't. But
Okay.
let's keep talking Death Stranding.
Charles Big Boy.
It
How
was.
you doing?
What do you think? At the end of the game,
So I'm watching the stream and it's back a bit.
it's back a bit, Charles. Okay. Well, we're playing it right now and just fucking around. But I was just thinking about like that ending where Sam essentially like burnt. You beat the game, right? Obviously.
Beat it, got those 5 stars and all my prepper boys out there.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
All
So-
the 9 yards. It's
It's interesting and it's like very much not set up for a sequel ever, because Sam is like burns his handcuffs, which is the tie. It's a metaphor. The fucking handcuffs were your cell phone, were your tie to bridges.
Mm-hmm.
He burns those and then takes Louise out of the container and like he's on his own in the world. Like, where do you think he goes? Like off to make a bunker?
I think he just goes and he lives on his own. Yeah, he just lives a life without the.
But
chiral
he's got all
network,
these
without
friends.
people.
He's got all these people in bunkers that email him. Like, I don't know. What's your thought, big boy?
The beauty of that game for me was this healing process for Kojima. Like he had this whole thing with Konami, whatever you want to make
Yeah.
of that. Then that whole game plays out, Death Stranding, he makes it, he releases it, everyone plays it, and then the ending of that, totally up to interpretation for everyone, and I think he's going to leave it like that. I think he's walking away from that game completely.
I
Yeah.
think so. I think Death Stranding is a one and done, great idea. He wanted to he had to do, like he had a passion, he had a story. He could finally make something that wasn't a Metal Gear game,
Yeah.
and he just did it. And he made that's why
And
he was so excited about it. He's like, I just wanted to make this
Sure.
game, and they let me do it, and I did it, and now I can go. I'll do whatever anybody wants.
Think about the logistics too of having to get Tommy Earl Jenkins, Mads Mikkelsen, Leah Seydoux, Norman Reedus, all these people back in for a sequel. Like, what if they're moving on? It's like, look, I don't want to do another game. I can for sure think that this was a solo work. That there won't be projects in the future, or DLC or more from this universe. I think this fits as a concise piece.
And I just don't see the need for
a
sequel in any way. Like, okay, what am I gonna deliver? Like, no. The
Well, what
point of
more
this
would it
game-
be? Yeah.
Yeah, the point of this game was its point, and like, I don't know that I would ever just play this game for the same gameplay mechanics. I would just play this game again.
Yeah.
Which it's gonna be a while before I probably play through this game again. Like, I still have no inkling. Only now am I starting to get the slightest of inklings to play Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain from the beginning and all over again. So it's great. I think it's a perfect one-shot piece of art.
Would you say this was your favorite game of 2019, big boy?
2019, no.
No, okay. What beat this out?
Resident Evil 2 for me.
Yeah, it was so good.
Definitely beat Death Stranding.
Okay.
It almost, honestly, it's not that far off. I never came up to.
You didn't go to Hartman's fucking rooftop bath?
Maybe I did. I don't remember.
This shit is so dope.
I took all those baths in that.
You get a buff.
Winding Refn fucking directed. Oh my god, I love that Nicholas Winding Refn's in that fucking game. That's my favorite scene of the whole fucking game.
Just having him in there is so fun, and like it's cool to have like, all of these different people in there. But yeah, RE2 remake was really incredible. Like it was something that I didn't expect, and it blew me away. And so yeah, I mean that's why I hesitated when you said it earlier, Garrett. I'm like, I mean it might be. But
Yeah, there was
also,
a lot.
like,
There was a lot of good games that year. But were you a Metal Gear fan before this, big boy? Did you play Kojima's other games?
I'm in film, and Kojima is the reason I got into film.
How interesting!
I grew up. He was the first rated M game I played with. What do you call it?
It's
Metal
so
Gear
funny,
2.
He wanted to be a filmmaker, but was in games, and like has found a way to make that filmmaking medium within games.
Yeah, he tells.
But he had to work up to get it to be this point. Well, people didn't trust Kojima at first. He really had to prove himself with Metal Gear. Really was, I think, that breakthrough.
Yep.
Because he worked on tons of stuff before that he didn't have any say on, and they're not going to listen to his wild ideas about,
Metal Gear was a smash hit, and then he just kept plugging away, and then I think when he did Metal Gear Solid, it was like, wow, it's now 3D graphics. Oh, cinematic, because you can't make a cinematic back then 2D top-down game. Now you can, and now again, it's like what I was saying earlier, is that like the technology when we were younger, like they wanted to do all these great big, like Octopath Traveler is a great example of like a Square Enix title that they would have probably wanted to do on the Super Nintendo, but there's no way a Super Nintendo could process a game to run smoothly, like mechanically. So how do they get around that? Same way, why does Kojima have long cutscenes? Because his games take forever to load. Because he's loading so much in one scene, so otherwise it's long loading times.
I do have to say though, he directs the shit out of those cutscenes. If he's using those for loading times, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, that's
where his brain is.
Dude, I realized this because that's what Final Fantasy does too. Like I'm playing through Final Fantasy VII R on hard now, and I'm skipping all the cutscenes, and I'm like, oh, there are a lot of load times. Oh.
Because you skip a cutscene and it still has to
And
load.
it's loading, and then it's loading you to a walking area, which is then a cutscene, and then it's loading you to, and it's like, oh, okay, well, when I'm watching a movie, I don't care, but when I'm just trying to play the tasks and get, like, Chapter 7 cleared on hard, Chapter 8 cleared on hard, I have to sit through a lot of loading. And I think that that's, you know, again, work within the medium and work within its weaknesses to develop its strengths.
I never
I
noticed.
wonder
all
what
these
Kojima's
skulls.
gonna do now that this whole SSD thing is coming to the PS5, like where they don't need to take these animations of people squeezing through cracks in the walls to hide loading screens.
I know.
They can just have the
Did
game
you
go.
find that? I found that
wasn't in this game at
offensive.
all.
No, it wasn't in this game, and that is perfectly surmised as a loading trick that everyone has seen.
Yep.
You just said it, big boy. The sliding through cracks in the wall. Resident Evil 2 even had it, as well as Resident Evil 7. But you see that a lot in like Tomb Raider, all types of games, Assassin's Creed. And I was a little remiss when they showed the Unreal Engine 5 trailer and footage. It was doing that. There was a point where she went in the crack, and I was like,
that got me so mad.
"Wait, don't do that. That's like a trope. Don't. You're trying to show this cool new thing in Unreal Engine 5, and you do this trope of her going through the crack."
Well, maybe that it's to make you think, and then you walk through it, and it's like, oh. But again, it's probably that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping with, again, like Resident Evil. Why did they do the animation of walking through the door? It's a loading screen.
Yes.
So what was so cool about
Shinji Mikami.
or walking up and down stairs? What was so cool about Resident Evil remake on fucking GameCube? It didn't have
Wait.
the loading up the stairs, but
Okay,
it did,
but it did. Yeah, yeah.
it did through the door because now that was its style.
Yeah.
So when you're
Because I remember being like, "Is that gonna still be there?" When people talked about even Resident Evil 7.
yeah,
Are
dude,
door loading screens gonna still be there?
technically
One
right
thing
they
that's been
Yeah.
going through my head
they worked it.
constantly since RE2 dropped was, what if the Resident Evil 4 remake drops and it changes everything again, like the Resident Evil 4 original game
Yeah.
did with its third person? What if they just do it again somehow?
It'd be so interesting.
I don't think they will. I think what they'll do with Resident Evil 4 is they're just going to make it updated. They're gonna fix the things about that game that made it annoying, which is I genuinely believe they're gonna trim it by 5 to 10 hours.
Ooh, really?
I think that rather than having bulkiness in the parts of like, you know how they made that alligator fight better in Resident Evil 2?
Yes.
They're gonna do something like that with Bug Island. That whole third
Yeah.
part that we all forget about, that when we
With
get
all the militia dudes.
and the electricity dudes
Yeah, yeah,
and all of
yeah,
that,
yeah.
like it was a fun part, but it was just
That game's so fucking long.
exactly. It was just a bit too long and a little bit too much. So I think that they're gonna make it more concise and they're just gonna trim it. They're gonna fix it, and that's what they.
My expectation for RE4, you know how they made the slow zombies fresh with RE2, like the way they sort of stumble and like it's kind of fucking hard to hit them in the head.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think they're gonna make the dudes run in the Resident Evil 4 remake. I think there's gonna be
God.
fucking dudes sprinting at you with
'Cause they
fucking
ran, didn't they?
pipes and shit.
There were some people who ran on
Sometimes,
the.
sometimes they like jog towards
The
you.
Ganados,
jog.
yeah, the villagers, the definitely the like Dr. Salazar and I think the Chainsaw Sisters and stuff. They would run after you. I don't remember. It's been so long since I gave 4 an actual thorough playthrough.
They kind of walk real slow towards you to
okay,
let you squeeze in those headshots.
Yeah, but I think again these games are focusing more on.
Attach.
Oh fuck! No,
Attach.
and you don't have the sticky gun. My favorite thing was the sticky gun.
The sticky gun was cool.
And then you just catch it when it flies at you. It's so cool. Again, the amount of ability you have in this game, that's the focus of this game. That's
You can
why
play
you're
it
a
so
walking
many
simulator.
ways.
That's why you have to hold your sleeve or fucking straps of your
You're
patch.
having a hard time talking today.
because
Just
there's
take
so
a breath.
fucking much, man.
Take a deep breath and let's just
There's so much, and this game put so much out there that people didn't
slow
appreciate.
down. Everyone just slow down. Breathe with me there, big boy. Big booty bitches. Say it with me.
Big. Oh.
Big.
Okay. It's just that's my chakra. That's how I center. You guys could have your own phrase.
But I mean, this game just had so much ability to it and depth, and the whole point of it was to allow you to explore that as much as possible.
Backpack cover doesn't last very long.
It does if
You
you
always
get.
have
Did you get level 2?
Yeah.
Huh.
Because I
It's-
5-starred everyone.
Yeah, it's hard for. I can't for some reason like.
And you have to remember to go make it again if you go to your private room.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. I can't make it because for some reason they won't let me do a level 2. But aside from that, I
Oh.
mean, it only really affects if you're carrying shit. You won't have to worry about using container repair spray.
Sure, yeah.
That's it.
I just wish I'm noticing now. I didn't really get that. That was like the last gadget I got, and I did not use it until the very end of the game. I just noticed now, like, mine just deteriorated again.
Yeah.
Why can't I fucking... Oh, I gotta hit drop, that's why.
Were you guys bugged by the semi-negative reaction to this game?
No.
Well, like we said, I can just... It didn't bother me because it didn't affect me, but I found it funny when people just said, it's a fucking walking simulator. All you do is like deliver UPS packages. And I was like, that's not all you do in this game.
Exactly.
They didn't play it long enough.
I heard everybody's criticism and I knew they didn't play it, so I just went, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like
That was mindset.
I already know that.
Oh, Sam.
Dude, I never died in the game until I started fucking around doing shit like this, and then I would hit like weird dead patches and walls because I wasn't supposed to be there.
Oh yeah.
And it would basically make me free fall.
So that killed you?
And it would kill me, and I died 3 times in one spot. Made me so fucking angry.
Was I the only one who tried to get to that shipwreck that was opposite the
yeah.
end town of the first area?
Wait,
I would try to do all kinds of shit like walk out into the ocean.
I couldn't get out there now.
That's where I
didn't see
found... Did you guys see the BTs that were just the big bloated like gelatinous blobs?
Yeah.
Did you see them before the end?
Yes.
Because there's that point at the end where they're... Oh, BB's crying. Oh, Lou.
Yeah, because you're rolling down the hill.
Sorry.
She
Oh,
doesn't like
sorry, Louise.
Yeah, I accidentally walked into that area and I went, I don't have what I need to go through here, so I turned around and I left. But now I want to go back.
Even before that end of the game, like where they make you walk through that path, I found those big blobby bubble things floating way out over the ocean. Did you guys see that stuff?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I went there and I'm like, nope, don't got what I need to have here.
You didn't even need anything because like all you could do was shoot them and they'd pop. Like they
Yeah.
don't come at you really or do anything.
Yeah,
bad.
that's what I found out. I think that's actually the location of where your physical beach is in the game.
Oh, what do you mean?
I think that's where the beach is. Like when you're in the seam,
Yeah.
I think that's where that area is. in
Oh,
the game.
graphically, like
Yeah.
they reuse that same part of the map.
I don't know. It just looked similar.
Interesting.
But yeah, like there's so much stuff to this game where it's like I don't know if it's worth engaging because is there something there?
Well, I have not mastered the snowboarding ability yet. There we go. Getting better. Yeah, there is quite a lot. Do you think you'll go back and play more of this?
Charles, big boy.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. One day I think I'm gonna play through all the way.
Because
I was bugged when I first beat it because the emails and interviews they didn't have any voice acting to them.
Yeah.
Can we just real quick? Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker had one of the great radio dramas of our time.
Definitely,
as
the
fucking-
tapes. The tapes were
Yeah.
such a good part of that game, and even bringing them into 5 was great too.
I would just listen to those on the bus. I'd have my PSP in my pocket and just listen to those fucking tapes.
Hell yeah.
Well,
On the way to
that's why he did it because it was on a portable system and he knew you could listen to the cassettes.
Yeah, so
Yeah, but
I'm with you that you were a little bummed. I'm just like, why'd you whisper that?
Oh no, it's just like it just dawned on me in that moment. I'm like, oh yeah, that's why he did that. It was literally him going, oh, this is a portable system. Let's give it a portable feature. You can listen to these cassettes like a Sony Walkman. It's a Sony fucking system.
Am I out of blood? Is that why I'm like hurting so bad right now?
Probably. You want my blood? Take my blood. But sorry, what were you saying, Charles?
I lost track, but no, I loved Death Stranding as just the standalone experience. I've moved on from it completely. One day I'm gonna go back and play through.
Yeah,
it again.
I think I'm with Brian, whereas like I don't know if I would go back anytime soon, but just maybe for story, because I've already done everything. But
Yeah.
maybe just for the story, I would go back and.
Because I rung this game
and blast
fucking
through it.
dry, man,
Definitely.
and in the best way possible. Like I do not feel like I missed anything. There's,
No.
it's literally like, if you could suck all the magnetism out of a magnet towards a game, that's what I did to this game.
I sucked it dry, baby.
I literally did everything that I wanted to do in this game that interests me, that's going to be fun. It took me I forget how many hours, 100 hours, 200 hours maybe.
Oh, Sam.
It took me a long time.
The board hit him in the face. What the fuck? It's bad enough you fall off and land on your ass, but then the fucking board comes and smacks you right in the dome.
Yeah.
Poor Sam.
This game is fucking great, dude. Like, yeah, when you do get to snowboard, though, like, just having fun with it, like, the fact that that's in here. I didn't know that for, like, the first 20 hours of this game, that you could actually, you could snowboard. And then I just started, like, finding fucking
Hills
sick,
to bomb.
yeah, just fucking sick tracks to fucking go down, cut some
bomb
fresh
this hill.
powder, dude.
Do you guys have a favorite prepper, both of you?
I mean,
I do like the Japanese Famitsu editor, the guy who's the collector. You got to bring him like old PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 consoles.
And the PSP and like,
Yeah, and he was one who was hard to find. I liked him. I like the collector.
Are you missing someone?
What do you mean?
You shouldn't be lack of chiral network here.
Why not? We're like way out the bottom of the map. The chiral network.
Did you do those pizza delivery missions? Did you miss those?
No, I did them all.
You got those. He's on the other side between the wind farm and.
Well, you think I didn't 5-star someone
I
here?
think there's somebody in that area.
No, I looked. It was 35 of 35.
Okay, yeah, no, because you probably got the achievement.
There's probably just places in the map that don't have all
I thought it was
100% chiral coverage.
You have the first prepper, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, the first prepper took me a long time.
Dude, that was a bitch.
How about you? Do you have a fave?
Yes, definitely. The fucking I don't even know who he is, but it's the engineer.
Oh.
He's one of the first that you meet in the big first area.
Yes. Okay, the engineer. I remember that guy. You know who I disliked, and I put off taking stuff to that old man. Is he the?
Oh, yeah, because he was
He was
up
in
that
such
hill.
a fuck you spot.
It was the engineer and that young guy, and
Yeah.
then the old man, and he was up on that fucking plateau. Yeah, and it was a pain in the ass.
Brian, do you know if that the young guy, the craftsman, is that at Guerrilla Games, dude? Because that's what I thought.
No
it was.
idea.
That might have been because it was their engine, right?
Yeah, it could have been. That guy wasn't so bad. Honestly, I found that the motorcycle made almost every area super attainable in this game if you just stuck with it.
That's what I realized too, watching you play, Brian.
Yeah.
Is like, oh, you just fucking bomb hills on this motorcycle with like no disregard for, plant life or rocks or fuck it, run it over.
I mean,
fly over it.
I try to get over it as best I can and make it smooth because you do
But
get
I
a little
didn't
bit
know
of like concussive damage
Yeah.
to your stuff, but it's like
You really got to fly high to do that.
you need and no mission is gonna kill you for 3% damage.
Sure, that's the other thing I found.
And yeah, it's,
I didn't too much. Did anyone know who the musician was?
No, I didn't know who that was, but it looked like Marty Ohm.
Monty Ohm. I
Monty
thought
Ohm.
that same fucking thing. I was like, that's funny. That guy looks like
I
Monty.
always call him Marty, and I hate that.
Marty.
I don't know. Yeah, if I had to pick a favorite one,
Who you got?
I liked the twins. I liked the
Mama and
No. There were two other twins. There was the cosplayer, and then up in the mountains there was the.
oh yeah, there was a lot of twins. Mama and Lockney were twins. The first guy who died, they said his name in the chat, who used all his ladders and he gave you BB
Igor.
unit. Igor and that other dude that run the West Capital whatever distro center. Those guys are twin brothers. And then you're talking about other two preppers. That's interesting. There's 3 sets of twins in that game.
Yeah. Well, again, because it's talking about like, well, are twins like two separate people? Are they one
Right.
person? You know, they share one body to start, but then they separate into two.
I like having to deliver homeboy's like mail order bride from her mom's house over to the chiral artist's mother. And or no, was it? No, that was the photographer and her mom. And then you had the novelist's son.
Yeah.
I liked all the interpersonal relationships because those emails really flesh those characters out.
They do, and that's the thing that I loved about it is they put all that stuff in there if you wanted to have the ability to go in and dig through and really get to know what's going on with this game. But yeah, it's just such a fucking deep fucking game. So
thanks for calling, man.
yeah, thank you, Charles, big boy.
Thanks,
Thank
big
you
boy.
for your time, and thank you for having me.
All right, peace out.
Peace.
I want to have one more person just real quick because
Yeah,
they've been helping us throughout the whole show with all of this
I'm
all
down.
this shit. Cyber we're gonna drop you in. They were dropping a lot of knowledge.
Cyber, we're calling you now.
Okay, cool. Let me,
Hello. How are you?
I am doing just fine.
Hell yeah! Is there any way that you can boost your
Boost that signal.
your signal? Because it's a little quiet on our side.
Yeah, give me a second.
Cool. The only one, yeah. Did you did
This better?
Yeah, way better.
Way better.
The veteran prepper is the only other one that I think might be in that area, but I'm almost positive that back area should be covered by the chiral network. I don't know why it's bugging me.
The veteran prepper.
Yeah, or veteran porter. Sorry.
Veteran.
You've got to bring him a piece of equipment before he pops up.
Brian, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Holy fucking shit.
So what?
Because I'm like, you should have no areas of
So I just snowboarded down randomly and found that veteran porter. I had never even found this guy's house during my gameplay.
You have to find shit for him. And
I've
bring
never
it to him.
5-starred this guy. Fuck.
He's the way that I did it is I got lucky and there was like a piece of stuff in front of his building, so I just picked that up.
Yeah, because he never calls on you.
That's like the first prepper. That's how you find him too.
Yep.
But I never even found this place until we're fucking doing the stream when we're done.
Mont Def gives us a
I take it all back.
Super helpful tip here.
Oh, what's that?
You have to bring him medicine, which thankfully is near the bunker right where we are.
Yeah, let's look for some medicine while we're here.
Jesus. Well, Cyber.
Thank you, Cyber. And Brian, you're right. By looking at the chiral network not being on here, I just didn't think it would,
Yeah, I thought
would be here.
Hey, I was the same thing. I'm like, I thought I did everything, and it was apparently not every fucking thing.
It said 35 out of 35, and even the Peter Englert stuff, too.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, well, I'm going to keep scanning. Oh,
there it is. Perfect, dude. Thank you, Mont Def. We would have ran past it even further.
I wouldn't
it's not that hard to get up.
I would have walked away from this not going like, this looks new. I've never been here. But really, this is the first time I've ever even been here.
Wow.
I just snowboarded down into it randomly.
Right, but that's what's cool about this game, and it reminded me of playing Breath of the Wild.
Well, now I'm honestly kind of pissed off at myself, though. You know what I'm saying,
Yes.
Cyber?
That's how I felt when I found out I
didn't-
only had a sliver of the fucking north fucking Mountain Knot station that I didn't fucking do. I was like,
I didn't want to finish the game until I'd 5-starred everyone, and that was what I was hoping to 5-star everyone and then go fucking watch those ending cutscenes. Now here I am doing it out of order. I'm kind of pissed right now.
You really couldn't do him up until near the end of the game.
But-
His stuff is not available till
Sure.
near the end anyway.
Sure.
So
And neither was
it's
all the
not like
Peter Englert missions. So
exactly.
But I was wanting to do those before I fucking finished the game.
I love that you and I did the same fucking thing.
God damn it.
Just with different fucking preppers. That makes me feel better about myself for not being so fucking dumb. But it also makes it, hey, they hid stuff in this game, so it makes me want to go back and fucking see what other shit I missed, because I obviously missed a lot.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, thanks
Cyber,
for calling in, Cyber. Yeah.
Yeah, real quick. I think we kind of talked over you, but did you have some purpose to your call?
Yeah, no, I actually had a quick question. I tried to tag in the chat earlier, but I guess it scrolled up. I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on what you were thinking when you saw the credits and Sam was just walking around in the abyss for 8 minutes or whatever.
Oh, I knew it was just a cutscene to get through to get to the end.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff on the beach where you're just waiting and it's like Amelie keeps coming back and talking to you, other things and it was just basically all you're gonna have to do is wait. I actually figured out a way to put something down on my PlayStation controller to push the analog stick forward on my coffee table, and then I just watched it like a movie. I was like, this is very artistic.
Yep.
Sam slowly walking across a beach because I've got a bottle laying against the analog stick.
I turned my controller upside down and just
Yeah.
so that I didn't care if the camera was catching it because it would fix when the cutscene started. So I'm like, perfect. But I knew that there was going to be post-credit shit because that's how Kojima has made all of his games.
Yeah.
So I was just trying to take as much in as they were saying and focus on that because I knew it was more info dump.
Yeah, I was under the impression that it was meant to be a metaphor for the amount of time that Sam spent waiting, because they mentioned later on when Dead Man picks him up and stuff you've been in there for a month or whatever, and so
yeah, that was the other
that
thing.
was the game
Right.
equivalent of waiting a month.
I loved that when you're hearing their voices like you're hearing Lockney and Hartman and everyone's trying to organize, like pulling you back out of the scene because they figured out a way to find you. Like, I really liked that scene because I knew it was leading up to that, and I'm like, how are they gonna get him? You know.
So I like that because that kind of illustrated what we had been watching the whole game, which is that the seam is in a plane above this world, like, and that's because they're trying to drag you back down, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so, but you can't go further down because then that creates a void out, and that because there's nothing there. So when they're dragging you down, they're trying to, you know, since he has no ha or ka, antimatter creates void out, and that's why on Earth, when that happens,
There's a fucking crater.
yeah, of a hand trying to grab you down.
Interesting.
And that's why they're connected up, the BTs. You notice how
Yeah.
their
They have
umbilical
umbilical cords going up.
because they're connected to
To
the
a beach.
seam
Yeah.
because they're trying to pass through also. So when you're killing them, that's why you get likes, because you're separating their spirit to let it go back to the seam to go to whatever the afterlife actually is.
Interesting.
Which is fucking just like, that's what I was trying to
really
figure
wild,
out as
yeah.
I'm sitting there on the seam, because I'm like, this looks exactly the same as it looked whenever I would die, you know, with that, like, now I'm blue though. I'm that grayed out
Yeah,
version.
you're yeah.
So it's like, okay.
Did I not take that on? No, I didn't.
So yeah, I mean, thank you very much, Zyber. That has been your contributions in the chat have been super helpful in terms of helping us get in just the heads or tails of where to start thinking on this path. 'Cause
It's cool.
So much.
It's cool getting to talk about these end game cutscenes and this like high level concept, because it's you know, there's a lot of questions I think I didn't have until we start talking about it, and then I go, oh yeah, what did that mean? What was the real reason?
Yeah, it's wild. Like I put in, oh goodness, I probably put in about 200 hours to finish this game.
Wow.
From start to finish, and I
What am
platted
I
the
at
game.
now?
If you go to the Timefall Farmer, I think he has a bunch of stuff for the veteran guy.
And that's where I'm headed right now, I think.
And that's a super easy back and forth. I would actually set up
Some zip lines.
you
Yeah.
play your own game.
But I mean, we're not going to be going much longer
No.
tonight. But now I wonder. I gotta keep playing this though now because I gotta finish that.
Yeah.
As well as did we find the location for the memory chip?
We did. I've had it open over here.
Yeah, you're pretty close to done, Garrett. I think you're just a few more hours should be able
Well,
to
I
wrap
was
up most
I
of
was
the
gonna kind of like poke around to do trophies. I don't do many trophies.
Yeah.
But I did games I really love. I start poking around and going like, all right, let me just get the last motorcycle, then I'll get that trophy. What other trophies are easy? What's real quick? You know, some of them was like, go make a strand connection. I never did that. All right, trophy unlocked.
Yep. Yeah, like I
Yeah,
unlocked a trophy today because I hadn't read 3 post-game emails that I didn't know I had.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I had 3 post-game emails that explained like some things, and I'm like, oh, I read
Yeah,
them.
because
Because
I never found this
achievement unlocked.
porter. Because I was looking at everything. I'm like, 5-star. Every motherfucker out
Yep,
here.
except for the one
Wait,
that you
wait.
can't. That's all Bridges' team, so it's like it's not. That.
Oh yeah. That was before.
Yeah. So you'll have some from like Bridges or communications, which I hate that they do a 1-star thing there. I'm like,
I thought,
fuck?
yeah. It's
The
like,
fuck?
Yeah.
screw me up.
There's one. The blood transfusion guy is the same way. I think you
Yeah.
can't raise him past 1 star.
Nah.
Actually, if you check your character page, that will give you a lot of information about like what you're missing and what you've got to do.
Where do you see that?
If you go to
In a private room?
no, go back to like your links. I guess is what it's called.
Bridge links.
you're-
Oh, that's right.
you're-
You look at your own link.
Yes.
I just found it.
And then there's also.
So if I go down here, it was.
Oh, you haven't fabricated all items, but you're close.
That's the ride bike. 71 out of 72. The ride bike, which is I need the last memory chip, will do that.
And then also when you go to fab stuff, there's actually like a tiny little check mark that tells you whether or not you fabricated it before.
So I did that. That's why it's that's what I used, that little check mark, to get the 71 out of 72 items.
So I think if you tab over to social NPCs, is that the area where you can see all of that?
Well, NPCs, other players, those are likes received. I wanted to see like time.
Oh, time should be right there. Total playtime 162 hours.
Okay, all right.
There you go.
I think I'm around there.
Social NPCs, yeah, Nick, George, Benjamin,
Luden's fan.
Victor Frank. So Igor Frank was the brother's name, I guess.
Yeah.
And now I would have added this last guy. Oh, you know who I didn't like? the film director.
I didn't like the film director either.
I don't like that guy.
I just didn't like. He was a dick the first time I went to meet him. Like all the others were like skeptical for like whatever. He was just a fucking dick. I'm so tired of negativity.
The
It's like
doctor,
come
the
on,
spiritualist.
the spiritualist and the cosplayer. So to get
They're twins?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Where's the cosplayer at?
I think she's further up.
It's funny because the cosplayer got kind of like a muted role in comparison to her fucking roommate,
who's only in one cutscene.
Is in one cut. Yeah, yeah. But
Right.
it's like, oh, I want to go down to Coco's house.
Yeah.
Oh
I wanna
no, wait.
hang out Team Coco.
He was only there once.
Yeah, the film director is the guy who directed Kong Skull Island.
I know. It's what's his name? What's Beardo's name?
Taika Waititi? I don't know.
Jordan, I think.
Jordan Vaught Roberts.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
The opening of that movie was cool. The rest of it wasn't.
That movie, I've seen that
It's-
movie too
I mean,
many
it's
times.
whatever.
That movie's fine. That guy, he's very hard at work trying to get a Metal Gear Solid movie off the ground. I don't know why I find that obnoxious.
What the fuck? I don't know.
I find it annoying and weird. I don't know.
It's unnecessary. The game is already there.
No, it's fine. If someone wants to make a movie, they can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
He annoys me in some weird way.
Oh, I see. Oh, is it kind of like a Uwe Boll thing?
No, he did an interview on stage with Kojima once too, and it was very fanboy. Came out in a cardboard box, and he only asked them and told them questions about. It was just fanboy, and it was like, I want to hear Kojima talk about Metal Gear or the Metal Gear movie, but you're just, I don't know.
I know what you mean.
There was that, and then like, he's trying to drum up like funding and interest in a Metal Gear movie, but it's not there, and he's trying again now.
Yeah.
And he's reposting the same like concept art and stuff from all these cool artists, which is cool. Something about me and him, something about him rubs me the wrong way.
I get that.
Hey.
I get that.
I don't know what the fuck it is.
Hey, I get it.
I don't hate Kong Skull Island. I've seen it like twice. It's like not bad.
So what?
The dude can direct.
Oh yeah. It's not your style, and that's fine.
Something about that guy bugs me.
Dude, I totally get
and
it.
then when Kojima put him in the game, I'm like, oh, fuck, great. I gotta
Thankfully, his were like the fastest for me to do.
do this shit.
Wait,
I sent all
wasn't he also the one in the middle of all the
fuck?
fucking like rocks and shit?
Yeah, it was
So,
obnoxious.
You know what I heard some people do? I heard that they would fucking like they would develop, or no, they would get void outs all around him.
Oh.
Because there's like a certain area where it would like void out, but it can't void out the map.
So
and
it
then
makes a path?
So it would just level the fucking rocks in front of them.
That's so smart.
Yeah.
How
yeah,
funny.
it's actually pretty smart.
But I
didn't
think
even
that's what
know
I think that's also what the bridges were supposed to be for. It's like, hey, if this is a or whatever you wanted it to be,
Yeah.
use it however you want it to.
I didn't really mess with the
fuck
bridges.
with bridges.
They took so much resources, and you had to go back and forth.
That's
you had to
why.
like make it was a 2-step process.
Yep.
So it was like, I don't want to do this.
You have to you give it the fucking materials to start, then you have to give it the materials to build. And again, the whole point of that was give the materials to start. You start some of it,
Damn,
then you
I don't
ask
have a
for help
PCC.
online with your fucking supply request shit.
Right,
I
yeah,
didn't
mean,
get
what-
that
what I-
mechanic, and I didn't.
What
care
I would
about it.
do is I would just build other people's bridges because a lot of times people would start them, but then they wouldn't finish them.
Yeah, they'd abandon it.
Yeah, see, I didn't see a lot of incompleted bridges. I
saw that a lot.
Yeah,
And I just left them though.
I would dismantle them after a while.
Oh really?
Yeah, because anything that I didn't want in my game, I didn't do it often.
Yeah.
But anything that I didn't want in my game,
Oops.
I would just dismantle and get it out of my way.
You
Nice.
dumbass. I hit X to get on it.
But yeah, Cyber, any last words before we
Yeah.
let you go?
Yeah. I was gonna say, is your old guy still alive? Or did
No, he passed
die?
away, and I got an email. That was the guy who I was annoyed by, that old dude. What was his name? The Elder?
Yeah, the elder. Yeah.
Yeah, I did not like the Elder,
Oh.
and he did pass
You can-
away.
I don't know if he passed away in my game. How do you know?
You just keep checking emails from him, and you get an email, and I think the email from an AI, or is the email like?
Well, yeah, it's from his bunker. If you don't deliver his meds, like there's a timer. There's an in-game timer that's hidden that if you neglect his deliveries of medications and pills and stuff, he'll die eventually.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, he's old. It's okay.
That's what happened to me. It's basically what his thing says. He's like, I lived a good life, and
And if
know.
you
I didn't know
visit
that you
him,
could push.
Well, yeah, if you visit him, there's actually a floating BT where he used to stand in the hologram.
Really?
Right. I saw that BT hologram's there instead of him.
I need to go back and visit him now. See, again, like all this cool stuff, this is what Kojima wanted out of the game. He wanted us to talk about it, to share what we experience, because it's non-linear and you're going to go down your own paths, and that's going to get other people excited to go try that and yada yada, and like, yeah, go watch the fucking machines at work because you fucking put them in the game. And
I love seeing that, the big auto farmer.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's what's going to happen.
Yes. Yeah, we're already at this point. We're already doing it. This was just like
Kojima,
literally just showing us the next step.
You say Kojima just wanted us to talk about the game, and he wanted us to play it, and then he wants to know now, how did you like it?
I did like it. Yeah.
S tier.
Didn't he ask that in some old old interview?
Yeah, it was the beginning of the Metal Gear Solid 3 trailer.
Yeah, that trailer, and he's like, "What do you think?" or "Did you like it?"
Did you like it?
Did you like it?
I always.
Did he
I harp
get
on
that from Mega
my
64 video?
It's not over yet.
How do you like it so far?
Which we got from the Larry
best
Sanders Show.
Outtake ever.
Yeah, if you guys are still in contact with Kojima, you should. I don't know how well your connection is with the guy, but you should ask him what Dooms means, because as far as I know, that hasn't been defined anywhere.
I think it's
not an acronym.
It's defined by relation. It's just what they call. It's like AIDS.
Dooms, yeah.
I know that
but
AIDS stands for auto mission deficiency syndrome. Like
yeah. Well, that's the
thankfully
acronym.
we don't call it grids anymore. But like, the thing about it is I think it was just it's called Dooms. It's kind of like a sixth season of Lost where they go, hey, questions sometimes just beget more questions, which beget more questions,
Correct.
which beget more questions.
Right.
Sometimes in video games you just have to take it for what it is. If they don't give you more explanation, it means the explanation is not important. Having it mean something more than this is just what the thing.
They just call it Dooms.
Dooms is the disease these people have. That's what it is.
You're doomed.
Yep.
It's given to you by an extinction entity.
Yep.
It seems. Yeah, it makes sense.
It's just again, all you need to know is they give you all the information. Sci-fi,
I like this couple.
Yeah, this couple was cool. Sci-fi is always very good because they give you all the information you need. It's just a logic problem. It's a mystery. That's the fun of it, is that you get to decipher it and discover it along your own path. He built that into this game. So sometimes you go down that avenue. I don't think Dooms meant anything other than that's what this is. It has to have a name.
Sure.
It's Dooms.
Well, but Zyber, one of these days when we're working with Hideo again to promote whatever's next, that's when we come into contact. He reaches out to us when he wants to promote. He knows where the money's made. But we'll talk to him about the next one, and I will ask him, Hideo-san.
Appreciate it.
What's up with Dooms? What's that stand for? Grids wants to know.
Yeah, we'll get to the bottom.
Zyber wants to know. Grids is something else. We're gonna be right back. Here's an old prank call.
Nancy speaking. Yes.
Last night, I was playing with the Queen of Hearts. The Joker's the only fool.
I like
Fuck
it.
him. Is the Queen of Hearts there? She left her number here for me to call, just in case I should have a royal flush.
It's a short and good call.
You know it's sad but true.
Short but sweet.
Have you never gotten those diaries? Those interviews that just popped up on the screen?
Apparently not. If they just popped up on the screen.
Daddy's got lore to read.
Yeah, that's one thing. Like, I didn't read the interviews.
Oh, that helps explain a lot.
I know. I read all the emails, and I begrudgingly did that because I was kind of like, we were talking to our earlier caller.
Yeah.
About not having fully voice acted or like recorded tapes like Peace Walker and Metal Gear 5 had.
It is hard to read.
It's all text, and it was like, thankfully they made the font bigger.
Yeah, they did do that quality of life update, and they did add being able to skip that full-on cutscene every time you entered a BT zone.
Yes.
I do like. I didn't know that somebody said that they added voice acting to those things now, but I don't think so. In game, I actually
not emails, definitely.
Or maybe for the interviews, but in game,
not those either. No.
Okay, then I don't know what they were talking about. I didn't mind having to read.
I would go back maybe and skip through. I read all the emails, and I skimmed through some of the interviews.
Yeah.
But I know that's where it talks about like, Sam and his, lover before whatever happened that made him freak out, and some void out that they caused.
Yeah. I think for him, he was just kind of like, fuck this. I'm done with this shit. Like, who am I doing this for?
Right. Well, I mean, in that so here's the other thing. In that photo, it shows, like, him with President Bridget, and he's an adult.
Yeah.
And then it also shows someone else in the white thing with her face scratched out, and that's Lisa. That's Mad's wife. That was the first
I don't know if that was
still mother. I mean, it was a pregnant lady in that white dress. Was that was that Sam's girlfriend or was that Lisa? I thought that was Lisa. And they were all working for Bridges together in some way, and that was before she gave birth to that. No, but the first Bridge baby would have been him.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
that's his wife.
So that's Sam's wife in that white dress with her face scratched out?
Yes, I believe so. I believe so, yeah. Because it only gets scratched out right away, like at the beginning, remember? Because the photo flies from his hand, drops on the ground, and a time fall falls on it.
Yeah.
So Lucy Strand was a therapist who was Sam's wife. She committed suicide due to having nightmares caused by pregnancy-induced dooms.
That's what it was. So did she have the Bridge baby that is Sam's Lou and, Louise? Or was that Bridge baby that came from somewhere else? Did she ever carry her child to term?
So that's what I don't know,
Yeah.
and that may be. So she caused the first void out. Okay, I know that. And then Cyber, if you want to type it in the chat, I mean, right at this point we're discussing.
I know we were just on the phone with him.
Yeah, but I mean he offered, but at this point we're discussing. It's not really a spoiler, but she was born before Death Stranding. At the point she was Sam's therapist.
That's right. I remember that. I remember reading that stuff.
He tried to convey his dooms and repatriation issues, associating them with the beach, but she couldn't comprehend the information and insisted Sam's claims were false. However, she committed suicide in her office during one of their sessions and repatriated soon after. The two fell in love and subsequently... He
did it and made her believe.
Yes.
That's fucking crazy. In her office.
So the baby died when she voided out. Lou is another BB entirely, and he named this one Lou after his...
What they were going to name their kid.
Yeah.
So when she voided out, the kid went with her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
I keep coming in here meaning to recycle. He gives you this giant... It's like, cool, resins. I'm not like building shit anymore.
Yeah, oh, dude, I donated those back immediately.
I'm not
I always
building
throw so much shit into the fucking group shared locker. That's what it's called.
Yeah. I'm just straight up recycling them.
So BB was another Lou was another BB entirely, and each knot had a BB.
Yeah, and we don't know who's the still mother of
this
our
BB.
BB.
Yeah, it just happens.
We just know it was funky. It was gonna get decommissioned, and
yeah,
Dead Man gave it to Sam.
And then because Sam was a BB,
Himself.
he was able to
share those memories.
I think so.
Or is that a Dooms thing that they connected by? I mean, yeah, it could be.
Could be Dooms as well.
Different things.
Like I think Dooms is.
Let's see if he's got orders for the veteran. Here we go.
Let's check it out. Dooms is a condition granting individuals a greater connection to the other side. Those with Dooms are called sufferers of the condition.
Wait.
Okay.
That's it. That's all we know.
And then Dooms was spread throughout humanity by Amelie.
Yeah.
In an attempt to understand the chronic visions of extinction she has had as an EE. Not knowing which to trust, she shared them with those who would become Doom sufferers. From that point forward, Amelie's dreams of extinction became nightmares, and that's why it's called dreams and nightmares when you turn back.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Commonly associated with Dooms. So I think, yeah, okay, Dooms is a physical manifestation in chiral... Jesus Christ. Like, you know, like the
they
fact...
They fleshed out this
they
world
did, and that's why, like...
so much.
That's why it's like, oh, if you don't understand something, it's probably because you, like... this is me talking to myself. If there's something I don't understand, it's because I didn't read it yet, or I didn't internalize it because there was so much to internalize.
Yeah. I think, how many blood bags can you hold in that utility pouch? 9? Or is it only 8?
Depends on how many you have. Do you have two?
I only have one utility
Yeah,
pouch.
then I think it's like 10.
I thought it was less than. I thought it was like.
Do you have the
9.
large utility pouch or the small? Oh, you have like all.
I don't know. Oh no, I put all 8 in there.
Okay, cool.
I got this utility pouch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Yeah, perfect. So yeah, let's see.
Wait, what's on my back? Oh shit, to deliver. That's right. Performance enhancing beverage. That's a lot of That's a lot of beverage. Let's take it back up to our first.
Yeah, the
or our
sad thing is
veteran
that people
prepper.
living day to day are the nightmares of the extinction. The fact that people exist is an existential nightmare for the EE, which is why it's such a big deal that Amelie is allowing Sam to live on.
Because she hates it.
The gravity of that reality is what gives Sam and the others the continued existence. Such gravity. Okay. So, does it explain why it causes her nightmares, though?
Amelies?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
People living
who knows?
day to day.
Do we have any more Discord callers, though? Brian.
Yeah, let's
that
see.
would like to chat. I know we were dropping it out there. Oh, no one else is in the waiting room. I just want to make sure we're getting everyone.
Okay. I mean, somebody will always pop in if you ever.
If I start talking about it,
Yeah.
I know. But we're getting to the end of the show here, so I don't want to go on for too much longer.
Yeah. But I
think we've-
enjoying Zyber's.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've kind of
Clarification.
covered everything in depth as much as we can. Like I said, it's so fucking complex. There's probably still more to keep understanding. Especially like what you guys are talking about right now. The pain and angst within the extinction entity because she's not fulfilling her prophecy, you know. She's
Yeah.
letting humanity carry on. But I don't know, she loves Sam, so she's willing to do that.
Huh. Just didn't know so much. Higher levels of doom abilities have been observed in those born under the constellations such as Cancer, Pisces, Cetus, Delphinus, and Gigas.
Gigas.
Out of universe. The
I
condition
love
is always
Gigas.
stylized as doom as if an acronym. No acronym meaning of dooms has been revealed, however.
So if I want to build...
Man, I love this
Oh,
game.
that's 250... Okay, I should probably do a zip line here.
Okay.
Give me that zip... Oh,
So
no.
Amelie suffers to live. That's why they all cry.
Oh, yeah, everyone does cry
See,
when
like,
they
that's-
come in contact with the chiral energy.
So what I love about Kojima games, it's like when it's opening a lotus. It's once you start like tapping it, you start to see all the petals. You know, like oh, that's why they were fucking crying the whole time, because they're suffering by being alive. It's suffering. That's how we know we're fucking alive. Got it. Like
Life is pain, Brian.
life is pain, but it's also beauty. It's this the reason we don't stop living isn't because we're suffering. The reason that we continue to live is to overcome the suffering.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
Like-
does Shinji want to end it all and everyone goes back to being the same thing and there's no individuality because life is so hard? And it's like, no, that's part of living.
Yeah.
Let's separate the walls within our hearts and form individualities again.
Fucking amazing. So fucking
It's a good theme, man. It's interesting
is.
how it can be done in so many different ways in
is.
media.
And the fact that Kojima's oh, you built that perfectly, so it's doing weird artifacting.
Right at the end of the chiral network.
But yeah, just the fact that it's all set up, an elaborate journal created just to get across so many complex ideas. And like, yeah, just it makes. That's why I want to play through it again. That's when I think about it. It's like, oh, then there's shit I missed in Metal Gear 5. And that makes me want to play Metal Gear 5 all over again. Or the
Yeah.
shit I missed in Peace Walker. I just don't want to do the tank
I'm
fights.
fucking flabbergasted. We found accidentally another porter that I hadn't even discovered, let alone 5-star this veteran guy. Never even fucking knew. And I swear to God, I was looking at things and it was like 35 out of 35. You're good. You did it all.
Wow.
I'm kicking myself. I'm gonna have to fucking do this tonight.
Dude, again, it's so funny. You're going through the exact same thought process I had. When I found that last sliver, Garrett, I was home alone, so I definitely had a gamer rage.
You're like, mother.
I'm like, are you fucking serious? You piece of shit, dude. Like, fuck this.
Where were you?
Fuck this. Come the fuck on. I was so upset because, like you, it's like, it's a neat bow.
I wanted to
on
do
this
this
game to finish.
a specific way.
Yes. It's a neat bow. Like the wrapping, the presentation, everything comes down to when I'm done, I want to be done and like step away so I can go.
I thought I was.
Close that loop, if you will.
Thought I was done.
Homo demons means madman, but it's also the terrorists in this game. Interesting. Again, now I just want to sit through and read the fucking wiki because this is all fucking.
Yeah, fighting the mules and the other, hearing about like the disease or the mule mentality of like hoarding these items and stealing items, and that was a whole cool subsect. Honestly, the mules look like they live more free than the porter, or not the porters, but the preppers who are all hiding in their bunkers. Like the mule camps look tight. It's like, dude, these tents are fucking awesome. They got like a whole fucking quad in the middle here. We got some areas off to the side.
Now, isn't that interesting?
Wash our clothes in the river.
Like, again, who's in the prison? The people who are shacked up inside waiting for somebody else to... and who's the villain? The people shacked up inside were depending on other people and not contributing, because that's the other thing that you were doing the whole game, is getting these people to join the network to fucking contribute.
Please,
because there are other people in this world, and that's why they love Sam, because he helps them realize, like, oh right, I'm not alone. I'm not by myself. It's helping us realize we're not alone. We're not by ourselves. We make these connections. Our memories, the things that we bring with us, they could be good things or they could be bad things. Depends on our perspective. Fucking love it.
How many stars? Give me 8 more stars.
Yeah, they're just addicted to cargo. It's like, again, it's addicted to deliveries. On the nose, Kojima.
Yeah.
Kojima is subtle, but sometimes being overt is subtle because you're not expecting your strength to be attacked. Like, I've always thought, if I ever have to get into a fight with anybody, or like, you know, like a war, I would always, always, always attack their strengths. Start making them feel like their strengths aren't good. What else do they have? That's the best thing.
You ain't got nothing.
You ain't got nothing, because you're expecting somebody to attack your weaknesses, but you aren't expecting somebody to come in after your strengths.
Hell no. Never. I would never expect it.
Nope. Nope. And you wouldn't know what to do. Wait, what do I do? Somebody's coming at my fucking strength and I don't know how to retaliate. Fuck. There you go.
Well, I'm about to come at you with my strength right now, Brian.
No!
The strength of positive energy.
Oh.
Thank you for joining us today. It's been a great show. We got to fully explore spoilers and all the storylines. We got to learn a lot from our callers. Thank you, Rocco, for calling in today.
Thank you, Rocco.
Thank you, Fingers. Thank you, Q-Bomb, for the music on the show today. Thank you, everyone. We got nothing bad to say about this game, man.
Thank you.
I will be back next Wednesday for more fun and games. We'll also be back tomorrow for the Mega 64 and Teen podcast. And then Friday, I've got my bonus stream where I got to let you know my cousin.
Oh, no.
My cousin Twilight has been fucking bugging me so much about, Brian's so sexy and he's so hot and handsome. Can I come in and like, I'm like, he's like out of your league, number 1, and he's taken, so leave him the fuck alone.
Please leave me the fuck
alone. Number 2, yeah, we don't want you coming around here. And she's like, maybe when no one's around, I could do some like kind of virtual thing. So I don't know. I'm trying to work out a stream for maybe Friday. It's kind of quiet around here, and we'll get Twilight in here maybe to do like a virtual YouTuber stream.
No,
she keeps talking.
I won't be here. That's fine.
She keeps seeing these YouTube videos of anime virtual YouTubers kind of playing GTA or something. She wants to do something like that. I don't know. I said if no one's around and you get a corona test that comes back negative, we'll talk. She says she's got a hookup. I don't know.
Okay.
But Friday might be a little more than I can handle. Anyway, until then, we sure do love you. We'll see you next time.
I'm so fucking pissed.
Kevin, come on.
I'm so fucking happy.
That's better.
Yeah.
That's a lot better.
Keep it positive, ladies and
See you
gentlemen.
guys.
And everything in between.
See you tomorrow. And Friday.
Shouts out.
It's only arson if you burn it on purpose. That's only awful if you think that you're worthless. Rapid movement's just your eyes escaping.
Yeah.
Stop sleeping because I know that you're faking.
Yeah.
But my dress is tuberculosis.
Yeah.
It's from my broken heart, I hope that you notice. If you wake up and fingers are absent,
Yeah.
it's never meant, it's just my bad habit. I got a leg gun, get me some headshots. I'm a disco death rock till the last song you drop. Slit, Mr. Sexy, and I'm so fucking good. I'm a death rock disco till my fucking heart explodes. Oh my fucking god, I grew up to be nothing. I'm welcome and ignored from all the blood that I'm coughing. I wanted so bad to be significant. Never even knew I was irrelevant. I can shake this awful feeling. I'm only worth loving if I'm cut up and bleeding. That's so awesome, can't believe that you missed it. The bathroom floor choke fucked on Christmas. 8-bit lips, hips and tits. Start game over, then you select quit. Quarantine from all your affection. Even a taste is out of the question. Oops, I try to stay on topic. So pornographic that is quite catastrophic. How? No, beat that was about. Put the scissors in your ear and cut those thoughts out. I got a light gun, get me some headshots. I'm a disco death rock till the last time you drop. Slit, Mr. Sexy, and I'm so fucking good. I'm a death rock disco till my fucking heart explodes. Oh my fucking god, I grew up to be nothing. I'm welcome and ignored from all the blood that I'm coughing. I wanted so bad to be significant.
Thank you.
Thanks again, Trixie.
Oh my fucking god, I grew up to be nothing. I'm welcome and ignored from all the blood that I'm coughing. I wanted so bad to be significant. Never even knew I was irrelevant. I can take this awful feeling. I'm only worth loving if I'm cut up and bleeding. That's so awesome, can't believe that you missed it. On the bathroom floor, choke fucked on Christmas. I wanna cover the world in my hate. I wanna cover the world in my hate. Good lord, I wanna cover the world in my hate. I wanna cover the world in my hate.
Brother!